Okay, listen. I will get back to the regularly scheduled programming soon, alright? I broke the world record again, and this time I broke a 10-minute barrier and improved on my last one by around 4.5 minutes. Still improving it, though. If you guys want to see a bunch of world records that I've broken, there's a playlist with a load of unlisted videos that are now on the leaderboards. Anyway, let's get into the video, this time with Breden.
Hello everybody, and welcome back. It is currently 7 in the morning, but it's not as bad for me as it is for my guest today. This is Bread. Say hello, Bread. N.
Hello.
So, well, first, how about you explain who you are?
Let me think.
I'll sip
I
my
speedrun.
I'll sip my tea in the meantime.
Well, you know me as someone who speedruns the Transformers games, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, a few others. A few people may know me, probably not. I'm a moderator and patch creator for the server revival project. It's more of like a more major role. And I also mod the games, not like a bunch of experience, but it doesn't really matter here. But yeah, I guess here it matters is I run the games, have a decent amount of knowledge of them, been playing them since they came out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I did not know that you were part of Re-Energize, or not Re-Energize, is it Re-Energize?
It was originally called Re-Energized, and then, so there's a Re-Energized project, and then there's the actual developer, who basically calls his project Warehouse. They had a falling out, so it's basically just Warehouse now, or Server Revival.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was Re-Energized.
Okay, cool. I need to 150,000% need to ask your permission once you've had some sleep. Not ask your permission, I'll get your help to get online, because I definitely want to play Escalation again, because it's so much fun. Right. So, you guys might be wondering, you did a video on this, Dave, already. What could you have possibly done to warrant another 2-hour video? Well, as you might see in the top left-hand corner where it says Sum of Best Segments, it says 2:17:47. Which is roughly the time that I actually got. I actually got slightly lower than that, which means I broke my own world record by over 4 minutes. Which is kind of cool for me, and there's a lot to talk about, a lot of differences, and I thought I'd bring a different Transformers speedrunner on, Breden, who's amazing on War for Cybertron. He's got a few of the old records on Fall as well. And so I wanted to get him to sort of react a little bit to the video, and if he had any questions and all that sort of stuff, if you had any things about like what I do on controller or anything like that. So, you know, why don't you, to start and ease us into it, why don't you talk a little bit about this level? Because this level is the most optimized.
Yeah, so, not much to talk about here. It's a basic tutorial level. Extremely optimized. I don't think you could get it, like, any more than, like, 3 seconds faster, just due to how scripted it is. Don't really have a whole lot to talk about.
I do.
I guess.
I
Okay.
do. It's a horrible level. I hate it. Because whenever if you're ever doing a long speedrun, I've worked this out for this level.
Actually, sorry to interrupt. I have something coming up right up here.
Okay.
So, when you interact with some things in the level and you dash forward, I've noticed it will position you diagonally, which we'll see in about 3 seconds here. Like, you don't really do it here, but if you dash right after interacting with things, it'll put you, like, 45 degrees to the right, and I still have yet to figure out why.
And if you transform, it does that as well. If you transform when you're going into a non-transforming zone, and you transform at the same exact second, or the same exact second you interact with something, you will do a complete 90-degree turn every single time. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but this is a little more significant because it actually affects the direction of your dash.
Yes.
So you have a slight delay there where you actually can't, so it slows you down a little bit.
Yes.
I haven't been able to figure that out. But anyway, yeah, back to what you were saying.
So, what I was saying is that this level, if you're psychologically at the beginning of a speedrun, and you get it like 2 seconds behind, you feel like you're already 2 seconds behind. This is why I hate it. And then we do this, woohoo! Which is, I don't know, we're trying to figure out what it is, but some sort of, you reckon it's some sort of auto-aim that slams me into the ceiling there.
Yeah, when you melee, I guess when you melee some enemies, it kind of, yeah, teleports you into them. I'm not sure why, because, like, other times, like in Escalation, for example, a lot of times you'll melee them falling down. I've never had it teleport me there, so I don't know. Maybe it's to do with the trigger that, like, you know, little panel that you go to in the cutscene, and then it opens the door. Maybe it's to do with that. I don't know. It's weird.
It could also be due to the momentum. Like if you're falling down and do the melee, maybe it doesn't happen. But if you're jumping upwards, maybe it does.
Yeah, maybe. Could be related to the super jump or something. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. So the super jump is something we need to talk about because that happens a fair few times in this run, and in fact, it did save about 4 minutes, and it saves some time elsewhere as well. Because technically, without the super jump, this run would without the super jump, especially in Jazz's level, this run would be about the same sort of time as my previous one. But the super jump just saves that much time. So do you know about the physics behind the super jump, how it kind of works, and then you can explain it and show it to people when it just before it does happen?
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't fully understand the physics, but we kind of figured it out, right? You jump, and then you kind of have a momentum. When you go into vehicle mode, you kind of store that momentum, or in this case, if you transform right when you land, you release it, right, and then you jump really high up.
So it's something to do with momentum storage but I think specifically when you're in the air, for some reason, it stores the momentum, and then I've kind of got to the sort of point now where I've reckoned it kind of works like this. So the momentum gets stored from the first transformation when you're in the air, and then it stores it while you're in the air, and then when you press the transform button again, that's obviously when it releases it. But while you're in the air, the momentum is always stored, if that makes sense. So you could actually transform, like, I've had it before where I've fallen far enough where if you transform once and then transform again, and then still transform for a third time and you hit the ground, the momentum is still in you and you will still get released. Which is really weird.
Yeah, I don't know where you'd fall for that far to have that much time, jeez.
Out of bounds.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I guess we could probably talk more about it when we actually get to levels where it's used, because here we're kind of talking with just, like, Bumblebee gameplay.
Yeah, this is, as I said last time in my last video, if anybody watched that, this Bumblebee gameplay is so very straightforward, and yeah, unfortunately I don't get quite my fastest segment here, which kind of sucks. You've beaten this though, right? You've got 7:14, is that right?
I'll have to check. I don't believe your timing is entirely accurate here, just because it's done, like, manually, right?
Yeah, it's done manually, so it's really weird for me because I time it when because I have to also press enter to skip some cutscenes as well, because for whatever reason B doesn't skip some cutscenes, because I use a controller for everybody who didn't want to know, and I'll explain a little bit about that again in a minute. But so I press the timing now because as soon as I go into his eyes, so I can keep slamming enter as a different button prompt. So my timings are a little bit off. But yeah, I thought why not do a record with G1 Optimus so everyone can see the best version of Optimus there's ever been that hasn't been in a film or whatever. But yeah, look at him.
Yeah.
He's great. That's exactly what Optimus Prime should look like.
Yeah, I love the look of the G1 skin in this. Looks great, especially in multiplayer. Love using it, like the transformation animation, all that. The only weird thing I noticed, it seems, and maybe this is just like me being weird, it seems a little bit more wobbly.
It
like,
is.
I'm not
100%. 100% is more wobbly than standard Optimus.
Yeah.
In vehicle mode, yeah.
Yeah. It could also just be like it looks like thicker. Or, actually, no, it looks thinner, so maybe it's just, like...
More top-heavy.
Like a placebo? Yeah. So maybe it's a placebo, or maybe it's actually... I don't know.
I think, from driving both, I honestly think that it is actually more top-heavy. It's more prone to, like, doing wobbles and stuff. But, again, it could, like, there, I wouldn't have turned there if it was in with normal Optimus.
Actually, that's interesting. You didn't go for the drop down. You went.
Yeah, I figured. I've played this level. I tell you what, I've played this level so many times, trying to save time. I now hold the world record for this level, by the way, everyone. Yay! But I've played this level so many times in practice and everything because this is quite an important level because you can lose quite a bit of time here, like if you don't get it quite right. because of the leapers specifically, and the fact that there's now a load of tricks in this level. So I practiced this level a lot, and I forgot where I was going with this now. Damn it, my brain just froze. Where was I going? Let's have a think.
Why'd you go around on the drop down?
Oh, I went around. That was it. So I went around instead, and because I was like, it was a gamble. Every single time I boosted out of the jump, it was a gamble where I was going to wobble around, or random stuff got stuck underneath me. So I was like, I'll just go around, and it's like, it's 2 seconds faster, easy. Easy 2 seconds, because the amount of time that you save from like hanging in the air from the jump is mental. So
yeah, I suppose so, because you don't really go forward at all when in the air, right? So
No.
you kind of spend a lot of time falling.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I'll just go around and see that. I was like, oh my god, it's so much faster. So that's why I went around.
Oh, I noticed here, and a little bit before, in these walking segments, you don't melee. You don't, like, spam melee to get through. Have you figured out that's, like, slower, or you just, like, don't do it, or what?
I don't do it because I've had it where it's messed up before, and it's put me in the cutscene with, it put me into the little lifting animation with Cliff Jumper.
Okay.
Which is obviously a lot slower. But the melee probably is faster, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's that much faster.
Yeah, I'd assume it'd also be pretty annoying to do on controller. I run Dark the Moon, you know, on controller because it's only on console. And in Megatron's level, it's objectively faster throughout the entire level to spam melee because he doesn't have a vehicle mode. But you melee by pressing the right thumbstick down. So after a run of that game, my thumb is like literally calloused. It's so bad.
You can get it on PC though. You can get it on PC. You just have to
Dark
pay.
the Moon?
Yeah, you just have to pay a lot of money for it.
No, you can't. It never released on PC. It's a console exclusive.
Is it?
Yeah, it never released on PC because it only had like 20 people working on it or something. It was very rushed.
Dark of the Moon PC. That is crazy to me.
It only released on 360 and PS3.
That's crazy. That seems crazy. Dark of the Moon. My brain thought you meant Darkspark for some reason. Sorry, I'm still waking up. I was like, Darkspark totally released on PC.
No, don't compare Dark the Moon to Darkspark. Come on.
I know that there's a debate in the Discord. There's no debate for me, but which is the best Transformers game. For me, it's this one. I'm gonna go with you're gonna say it's War for Cybertron.
Yeah, in the beginning you said that I'm like really competent for speedrunning War. I I have a lot of knowledge for War and I love the game. I actually don't have a lot of speedrunning knowledge just because it has such like a big barrier to entry for running it. FFR, which you know probably like the biggest War for Cybertron runner right now, calculated there's like 40 different skips in like the whole campaign.
40? Wow.
Yeah, around 40. So it's very hard to get into, even for someone with a lot of knowledge, and there's a lot of ways to mess up. So I actually don't run it much. I have the record for Chapter 5, which is only like a minute and something, because, you know, it's the Omega Supreme boss fight. And then I have the record had the record for Defend Iacon, which is Chapter 6, because that was when I practiced. But other than that, not really.
Ah, that's a really cool. So you got more records in this then, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's just mostly because it's not very optimized, and for a lot of the individual levels, it's literally only like Eagle Force and sometimes Mango Coal that have runs, and they're not very optimized. So it's it was really easy to get a lot of them until you're coming along and making it difficult.
Yeah, for anybody who wants to go and look at the Transformers Cybertron level leaderboard records, I'm slowly getting to halfway now. This one helped. I got 2 world records in this one. So the level before this one, somehow, I don't even know how, was a world record, because I made 2 mistakes at least. And the other one is Starscream's level, which I absolutely hate. So that's a good job that's done. I don't have to practice it for a while. So that's nice. But, yeah, you might have noticed if you watched my previous video that that this section and the previous section where I had to hold off was done way, way faster. I learned how to manipulate the spawns of the Decepticons by running forward into the area where they spawn, and then they'll spawn somewhere else, which is really cool. So if you stay, I learned that if you stay further away, they'll actually tend to spawn beneath you, or split it beneath you, and they spawn a hell of a lot faster beneath you than they do on the opposite side of the map. So yeah, I saved myself about 10 seconds there, which is kind of cool.
Huh, that's interesting. I actually didn't know that. I spent a long time trying to figure out that combat section, because I always noticed that Equal Force always got it way quicker than me. I actually spent like a long time practicing this level, and I always got stuck on that combat encounter and the one with the first Marauder up here. Or not up here, but a little bit further, because I'd always kill myself with the orbital beacon when I tried to went through. Tried to go through.
Yeah, you see, whenever I do any Marauder stuff, I basically always try... Oh no, this was the level I got the world record in. My bad, it was still on that level. I totally thought we were on Metroplex's level for some reason. Yeah, so this level, I figured the Marauder section is just, if you just shoot at the Marauder, it's way quicker than waiting for Metroplex, and you don't risk the chance of dying. I didn't actually get it as quick as I could here because I was running at safety, but if I was to do the level run individually, when you come back from this section and go to the Marauder, you could actually just shoot the Marauder from the top there, and then super jump all the way up there, and it's that much faster, because you don't actually need to kill any enemies in that area. But if you get the super jump wrong, then you die. So, because all of the enemies kill you, like, straight away.
Right, yeah. I watched, like, 8/10 of your, or 4/5, I guess you'd round it down, of your commentary video, and yeah, I saw you killing it like that. I never thought to do that. Because, I mean, if you look at them, you're like, oh, no way I can kill those with my normal weapons. They're massive, you know?
Yeah.
But, no, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty easy, especially with the glass gas cannon and the riot cannon. They make it very, very quick work. Proud of this leaper though. This section I've been practicing so much because this section sucks, and it did go a little bit wrong. But at least I got rid of that leaper nice and quick, which I didn't in my previous run.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, this section can give trouble though. Leapers don't like to cooperate very much. I was just running this game or this level earlier today actually, in like anticipation, because I knew I had a lot to comment on for this level, and I had one of the leapers jump down and then like go to the bottom floor by the where you plug in the molecular fuse, and it took him like 30 seconds to kill him because they were like directly oh yeah, like right down there is where he went. I was really confused. Yeah, there.
Don't worry, I recover, it's okay.
Oh, yeah. Launch back again.
These guys suck, by the way. Everybody who did not know that these things absolutely suck.
Yeah, the most consistent way I found to take them out is run over, get the scrap maker, and then when they land, you just, like, kill them, shoot them in the back really quickly.
For me...
And they die very quickly.
And my plan went wrong, because of course it did, is if you shoot the top one with the glass gas cannon, when he lands, you normally, if you shoot him 4 times, he will usually die on 1 riot cannon or 1 glass gas cannon hit when he lands. And that leaves you with just 1 leaper. You then dash over to this area, and if you dash over to this area, generally the other leaper will either go into the air to try and get you, or dash towards you, exposing his back. And that is by far the quickest way of doing it, I found. I haven't found a quicker way. It just so happens that on this section, when I shot the dude, as the first dude, as he landed, I didn't hit his back, and therefore he lived.
Well, yeah, and then it goes all wrong from there, because they just move unpredictably.
Yeah, I played my safety strat for this, so this is a little bit slower than... I've got a really speedy strat, and I've got a really speedy risky strat for this section. And I played it the super de safe strat. It's still faster than using Metroplex, because you have to wait for Metroplex's, like... gun to stop facing you, and then you have to run all the way across and whatever, but yeah, this wasn't a good section. It's not my best section of this, so there's definite like 10-second time save there.
Yeah, I saw your health got down to like 15 there.
Yeah, if you do ultra, that's why because I notice a lot of runners don't actually buy stuff from the from Teletran, which I find amazing, because like a previous section I cleared way quicker just because I had the mines. Like the mines insta-killed everyone. And so I saved like 10 seconds there. Mines and the clutch vehicle. Alright, so this is a cool discovery. Have you seen this bit? Yeah.
I don't think so. What
Watch
do you do
this,
here?
ready?
Okay.
I can now dash inside Metroplex.
Oh yeah, I remember you you saying this in the Discord. You're like, yeah, or maybe it was in the commentary video, and it was like, yeah, it's not very useful, but no, it actually does look pretty useful.
Yeah, this is the only place where it would save time, but it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, I actually don't know, other than like a few portions, I don't know how much faster that is than Melee, really, because it's so cramped here anyway.
Yeah. But
Probably save a little bit though, so might as well.
I reckoned it saved about 2 to 3 seconds, which is kind of cool. Here, every time I get to the section, I always practice because it's so cool. It's so cool if you do it here, which I don't do it. I was trying to practice super jump. Because if you do super jump in slow motion, for whatever reason, it launches you way faster. No idea why. Launches you way higher. Straight into the ceiling immediately. So I always practice it in that little section, which is kind of cool. Got stuck there as well. But yeah, if anybody wants a world record and they copy this, you can. If you literally just made the leap a bit better, you'd basically you'd have the world record by a good amount. If anybody wants to play this at home, just saying, it's up for grabs.
Yeah, it is pretty enticing. It's not a very optimized game.
No,
nice.
It's a great run to play. It's a great game to play. But like I said, like the super jump was theorized when I got the last world record. And then I just decided to practice it and seeing where you were seeing and FFR was seeing and I was seeing where it could all fit in. And we all sort of collaborated together. And then I don't want to toot my own horn, but I found the Jazz one. The Jazz one was pretty big.
Yeah, that was crazy to me how they just like have that there. Like you loop back through the level. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah. So it is worth noting that I did try and do a super jump. And I tried to get higher into the next section so I could skip it even more. Pointless. Yeah, the loading doesn't. You can do it, and cutscene, not cutscene stuff like the voices will happen, but you physically can't progress. It sucks.
Yeah, that's a common problem in this game. I've encountered a lot. You've even like seen it when I was streaming. Yeah, you super jump through somewhere, and it's one of those areas that's loaded by like killing enemies or by like a cutscene or something.
Yeah,
it's very annoying.
Walking on a specific spot.
Right. And that's one thing I like a lot more about War for Cybertron. Pretty much every cutscenes, or pretty much every checkpoint zone, with the exception of maybe like 3, spawn just by standing in it. So if you look like in the first minute of the Decepticon campaign, you're barrel rolling through the air and go through half the level. And then it loads just by being there. It loads like under your feet, and that's something like I love it and I hate it about War for Cybertron, because it gives so much more skip potential, but then you like actually don't really get to play the game.
Yeah.
So it's
like when people like play Ocarina of Time. I used to watch a load of Ocarina of Time speedruns. I can't watch the fastest category now because it's like 5 minutes or something. I can't remember what it is now. It's really low, and it's just like you're not playing the game now. It's now 5 minutes long, or 6 minutes long, or Minecraft as well. The Minecraft world record run is now like 2 minutes 50 for random segment, let alone like set seed. It's absolutely crazy.
250. I thought it was like 8 minutes. Jeez.
Oh no! It was broken by Danny G the other day. I'll double check what it is. I know that the set seed one is like under 2 minutes for. It's under 2 minutes for mobile edition, just to give you an idea.
Oh.
Yeah. Here we go. So, random seed, 116 plus is 7 minutes, but Danny G did one of them. I can't remember which one. It might have been 1.13. Someone did it, unless... Oh, any percent glitchless I'm on. Here we go. Any percent glitches. Yeah, it's 1 minute 38 seconds.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm usually not too big of a fan of like extremely optimized runs where you can barely tell what they're doing. Think about like Portal. But Minecraft I actually really like, because there's a lot of it isn't like practicing for hundreds of hours to get the exact inputs. A lot of it's like on your feet decision making, at least for random seed. And I really respect it. I actually really like watching those, especially in like slow motion, because no two runs are the same. Like you get the same structures, you get the same like items and stuff, but it's way different in terms of decision making. I love that.
Yeah, no, that's, you know what, that's fair enough. For me, once it got below 2 minutes, I like watched it and I was like, damn, how can it get faster? Like, there's no, there's like, actually, how can it get faster? You have to just load.
How can I get even close to that?
Yeah, exactly. So a little cool thing about this is that there's 2 random parts of the game that are basically random number generated. One of them is at the very end, which is Jetfire's random shooting level, which I'd love to spend more time with Jetfire because he's awesome, but we don't. And the links in the chain that you have to shoot are random, which kind of sucks. And the other random bit is here, which is how the tanks spawn in, are actually completely random. So depending on your tank pattern, you could save somewhere between like 10 and 20 seconds, like between 10 and 20 seconds, which kind of sucks, and I cannot be bothered to document how much time you would save and what the best pattern is and everything. So yeah, it is just kind of luck of the draw on this section.
And see, I never paid attention to that. I always thought it was like set pattern, but the segment's kind of long and I have bad memory, so I never like paid attention. Here, I'm pretty sure you could also melee to go faster, if I remember.
Well, the thing is, with this section, it really doesn't matter. When you're going down the stairs, you mean?
Yeah, if you melee there, you can get a little bit farther.
I'll have to do some testing with the melee thing, because I had watched some people do it before, like melee in slow sections, but what would be lovely is getting a super jump in here, and this would somehow skip everything, but I have tried multiple times and failed on every account. As it turns out, High Moon are really good at making invisible walls, so...
it's crazy, man.
Their levels
you
are
saw when I was streaming it. It's
so optimized.
Well, and you like, I don't know, it's crazy to me because there's some areas like that are like 30 meters in the air that you would never reach even with a super jump. Oh, invisible wall. But then there's areas like Jazz's level where you could probably
Optimus Dance.
Yeah, I saw that in your other video. Yeah, but there's other areas like Jazz's level where you could probably get there normally by just like accidentally flinging yourself.
Yep.
No invisible wall.
Yep.
It's so weird.
Absolutely right. Right, let's talk about this level because this I think is my second favorite speedrunning level now. I really love this level because this has changed so much because of the super jumps. And there is a super jump potential in the last video, but for safety I missed it, and it only saves 2 seconds, and if you mess it up, it's not a 2-second recovery, so it's not worth it if you get it wrong. Maybe I'll do it one day, once I'm like so good at super jumps that I can't actually miss. But yeah, this level was broken by super jumps, and you gave me most of the ideas, I think. So before we get there, why don't we talk about it? Why don't we talk about super jumps and how they've helped and what they're all about? Because this is the level to sort of talk about them, I think.
Yeah. So, we briefly explained it in the Bumblebee level. Yeah. So you like you untransform from vehicle mode. You jump in the air, you look at the ground, you transform when you hit the ground, and you get a big boost of like momentum up in the air. So you can go maybe like 20 feet in the air. I don't know what the scale is in this universe, but you get a decent amount of height, and that
I do
especially
it right here,
in this level.
I think.
Yeah, so especially in this level because it's so open, because it's so like not linear, vertical. It's so vertical.
Here we go.
It actually it allows you to save a decent amount of time, and so I believe it was originally brought to our attention by Matt, who's he's like the movement player for these games.
He's great.
Brilliant.
He doesn't say much, but when he does, you're like, senpai.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man of few words, but he's great, especially more for Cybertron, man. If you ever play against him in multiplayer, you're leaving the game. Man, you can never hit him. It's horrible.
Well, do you know what? I never played War for Cybertron multiplayer, so with this whole re-energized / the server project or whatever, I can't wait to start playing the multiplayer stuff again, because it is...
Ask him to a 1-for-1, I dare you.
I will, because maybe not in War. I'll ask him in Fall. Fall I was pretty good at. War I never played, so... So there you go. That's one of the leapers up there destroyed, and I get quite a few decent hits into these guys. So I had a really good leaper section here. Yeah, these guys. Yeah, I killed another one up there. So I only had one leaper to deal with on the ground, and he jumped straight in the air. So it was like, you can't really get a faster leaper section, I don't think, without being very, very lucky. And then there's another super jump. So
yeah, that's. I noticed you. I noticed you like shoot them in the front a lot. So, do you just like power through that like 90% damage reduction, or does the splash damage go like around them to the back?
I have a technique. So if you unloaded area. So yeah. So the reason why I shoot them at the front is because it's a logical choice. So if there is no opportunity to hit the leaper around the back, why am I not doing damage to the front? Does that make sense?
That's fair. I just like you seem to kill them pretty fast for the. I don't know how much damage resistance it gives them.
It is about 90%. It's about 90% damage resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just like the riot cannon being insane in the last guess.
It's the riot cannon being insane, but also even if you hit them from the front, and if you miss and it goes behind them, or you'll notice sometimes I'll aim at the floor behind the leapers as well, because if you aim at the floor behind the leapers, then that's a back hit. If you've got a weapon that does splash damage.
And actually, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, especially with the last shot on the riot cannon, you shoot behind them. Yeah. I just realized we didn't talk about the restart checkpoint back there, which was like the only time you have to restart checkpoint in this level. So when you do that super jump skip, you go ahead farther than you're supposed to.
Yeah,
the game for some
can't
reason
catch up. It's because Metroplex can't catch up because I've waited between. Yes, if you wait a little bit longer, it will eventually work out. But it takes so long, you may as well reset. So yeah, it's because Metroplex actually has to be in a position. It sounds weird, but that's why. Because normally you go up a ramp, you go up another ramp, and then there would be Metroplex there fighting a bunch of enemies. They're all shooting him like, oh my god, he's so massive. And Metroplex is, you're all fleas, go away. But he doesn't. It does. None of it loads in. It's all triggered by Metroplex for some reason. No idea why.
It is pretty weird though, because it's not even just like he can't make it there. It's like it says Metroplex offline, like when he dies.
I get that really as well, weird. Though. I get that whether or not I've done the skip on my game.
Huh? Man, I guess I haven't paid attention. Maybe you do get it.
Yeah, I think all that Metroplex offline thing is, it means that you're not allowed to use your shoulder laser targeting thing. I think that's what it's meant to show you.
Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, I don't. Oh, it's funny. It's like set up. You use it right here. I haven't played the game normally in so long. I don't remember.
This section. So you'll notice that this has changed from my original run, and I've learned the value of mines. Mines are the great. Forget the riot cannon, okay? Forget the glass gas cannon, okay? Forget the DLC guns. Forget the gear shredder, which is super underrated, by the way. Especially in speedrunning, if it wasn't for like, if it was needing to take down multiple individual targets, the best gun in the game would be the gear shredder, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially like escalation, I use it every single time.
Yeah,
you can shred through the Titans really easily.
Yeah, they're a phenomenal thing. So I've learned multiple things about this section as well, but the mines will clear a room about, I don't know, 40 meters in diameter immediately.
So by mines, do you mean like the thermal mines, or do you mean the dimensional decimator that's like a black hole?
The dimensional decimator black hole thing. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, because like I thought you were talking about like the mines you get towards the end of Jazz's level, and those can't like kill a single bug. I was so confused.
No. I meant the black hole. The black hole. Yeah. The black hole, absolutely incredible. But we don't use it too much in this level. I don't know why I pressed start there. I was trying to get back in to. I think I was trying to get in to get the dimensional decimator. That's what it is. But I also worked out, which nobody did before, which I can't work out why. Nobody ever went into Teletran and used the intercooler to cool Metroplex's thing off. which
Yeah, I
find crazy.
I don't know. It seems like in general, other runners, it's like as soon as you do a certain amount of runs in this game, you develop a Teletran 1 brain rot, and you just like forget it exists. It's just like gone from your brain. I've noticed that a lot, yeah, and I'm guilty of that too. It's like
No, why?
It's
I mean, why
staring me
would
in
you
the
not give
face.
yourself the best stuff? Like,
I don't know. It's just like brain rot, I guess. I don't know.
so for me, you had a lot of questions to me. I remember when I first started running. Like you said that I look at this game differently to how everybody else does.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's shown especially in just like the one Teletran and two the like creative usage of super jumps. It's yeah. I guess it's kind of like hard to set a standard because pretty much the only person actively running this game is Equal Force and to an extent me. But yeah, like compared to anyone else who's run the game, you've definitely given it a new look, which is really good.
I think it's really cool, and I want the reason why I'm making this video, guys, is because if there is somebody out there who wants to, you know, who wants to give this game a go or whatever, you can still get it. I believe are there still physical copies on Xbox One and PS4?
So on Xbox One and PS4, they never released physical copies.
No, it
was entirely digital.
Yeah. So, but it's on 360. You can backwards compatibility with Xbox One, can't you? And
Nope.
No?
You can only run it on 360. There's no backwards compatibility. So if you want to play the game now, you either need to get a disc on PS3 or 360, or you can of course pirate it on PC. Or if you live in the US or you can VPN to the US, you can actually still buy a key on Amazon, a Steam key. It's $50, a little bit hefty for a game this old, but
it is one of the most fun games. Even if you just play this game normally, I would actually still recommend it at that price. Honestly.
Oh yeah, especially with the multiplayer being up again.
Yeah. With the multiplayer being up, it is absolutely fantastic. Also, I just wanted to show you, never ever will see the front of Optimus's G1 skin unless you're in this cutscene. So I transformed at the same time, so he didn't transform back, so I could show everybody Optimus's G1 skin from the front.
Yeah, it looks funny. It's so flat.
It looks awesome. It's so great. But yeah, this was your idea. So I just managed to perform it, but this was your idea. The fact that by the time you kill the last enemy, there's a significant amount of time between firing Metroplex at the warp cannon and actually being able to do it. So you said super jump there, and I did. And I reckon if you do it better than I did, which I did it really poorly here, if you do it better than I did, that will save 15 seconds if you do it at the right time, which is mental. 15 seconds. Yeah. Which we thought when we first started it would save 5 seconds. Nah, it's way more than that.
And especially if you get like a dimensional decimator there, you place it down, you kind of throw it, and then you start running.
I did. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah, like if you aim it really well. And
yeah, I haven't worked out the best place to aim it yet because I left one guy at the other end. Here's Starscream. I've stopped shooting at him because you're never going to kill him. Sucks. Oh dear. And the Combaticons. I'd say the Combaticons are probably like my favorite sort of redesign apart from G1 Optimus through the whole game. But don't worry, because if you wanted to see previous Optimus and what Optimus looked like before the skin, you get to now. Because it changes for some reason. It's a cutscene basically. It's so weird.
Yeah, there's a few instances of that. There's like in chapter, I believe, was it the final chapter? Chapter what? 13?
Yeah, it
11?
bounces all over the place in the skin.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I won't go on like a long modding rant, but you can trick the game into thinking your custom packages are DLC, and it suffers the same fate. So like if you swap G1 Optimus here with I don't know, like Jetfire, it'll swap between them in like cutscenes and stuff too. It's really funny. So they just use like a DLC loading system. It's really weird.
That's interesting. So what you're saying, there's a cutscene model, and there's a gameplay model, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's the same in War for Cybertron. If you like swap, it's called a robo-def, which is what defines them like in the game. It's separate from their skeleton, which is used in the cutscenes. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I definitely need to speak with you at some point when you're free and I'm free, and get the multiplayer going on both games and show off some modding stuff, because it would be really cool. Is there a possibility? Here we go. Because you can't buy the DLC anymore. Can I unlock G1 Bruticus for the campaign, or G2 Bruticus, I should say? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the thing that needs to happen first. I want to get a world record with G2 Bruticus.
Oh yeah, it looks so cool, man. Up close, I love it. I wish they would have given skins for the individual Combaticons, because I love the, like, especially like Brawl with the spots and all that. It's great.
For me, my favorite is Swindle. Like, after looking at his Jeep form, I love his Jeep form. It's great. Yeah, Swindle's Jeep form, so cool. And to be fair, I do think that Blastoff looks better in this game than he does in G1. I think Blastoff is a really cool design in this game.
Oh, I actually don't know what he looks like in G1. The only G1 Combaticon I can recognize is Swindle. Yeah, I haven't watched G1 in a while, and when I do, it's like just season 1, because I think it kind of.
Well, if you need reminding, if you look at the chapters at the top with the new GIFs, that will give you a good reminder. There's some funny ones there. There's no good GIFs of Metroplex, so I just found a model of Metroplex, but here we go, cliff jumper time. So yeah, this level is really, really good to run in a speedrunning sense, and really not boring, but like interesting from a lore perspective to not run in a speedrun sense. I think, personally. What are your thoughts on this level?
It's also a complete disappointment to try to skip through it, and then you realize there's a bunch of invisible walls and loading sections. It's probably the most disappointing level in terms of that.
Yeah, the level time, what's really funny is that the level times, or what you should spend in the level normally, really are almost opposite to what you do in a speedrun level. So this level is, if you play it through normally, is actually quite quick. Like, I'd say, like, each level's supposed to be 20 minutes long, right? That's the gist of it. Optimus and Megatrons are supposed to be half an hour long each, because they're the big draw, everyone loves playing them. But this level ends up being one of the longest, because it should be about 17 minutes long, but as you can see from Chapter 4, it's going to be about 14 minutes long. Jazz, again, Jazz is supposed to be a fairly medium to long level, but his ends up being one of the shortest as well. So yeah, it's kind of weird the way the level structures have almost flipped in terms of length that they should be completed. And Vortex especially, like Vortex is... When you first play the Vortex level, I swear that's going to be like the longest level, because you don't know what you're doing, you're flying around everywhere. But now it is the fastest level.
Yeah, I guess it's just defined by, like, hey, if we find a decent skip, okay, it's going to be one of the shortest. If we don't, okay, it's just going to be basically played normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because the longer levels have more opportunities for skips, or they took longer to make, so there's not as many invisible walls in place or whatever. So there.
Yeah, it's also possible that different people worked on different levels. So maybe there was like a team that worked on the bigger levels, and then just like one guy that made the smaller ones, something like that. I don't know.
There is a. I have noticed though that and it's really weird that the levels that would have had the most attention, i.e. Megatron, Optimus Prime, Metroplex, they all have like the most easy to find skips. I know Jazz is slightly different, but that might just be one big oversight. And Vortex as well. But I think that's just because they're such big levels that wind around each other. But yeah, Optimus's and Megatron's levels are the only two ones that use major super jumps. And there is more super jumps opportunity in Megatron's level. But I haven't quite mastered it yet, so it won't be in this run.
Yeah, I don't really know why they didn't put too much like invisible walls and too many like they didn't. Seems like they didn't play test them for very long. I guess there could be a few reasons. Maybe those levels changed the most throughout the game. Like, a lot of people play tested those levels, and then they're like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I'm playing as Megatron. I want to do this. I don't want to do this. So they change it, and then they change it again, So maybe it's changed, like, right before the release. They couldn't play test it. I don't know.
I have a theory, and I want to know what your theory is. And my theory is, by the way, this is a massive save. So I run out here, kill him. I'm like, oh god. So if you didn't know, this door closes if you get spotted, which makes things a lot slower. But shotgunners also spawn and jump up, which stop you from hitting the button. But I managed to do it literally as I heard the shotgunners jumping up as I was pulling it. So it was a nice save there. That saved a good, like, 20 seconds of hassle. But yeah, so I have a theory about this, so I want to know what your theory is. Obviously, this game is built on Unreal 3, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is, I'm kid you not, this is probably as good as Unreal 3 gets. Unreal 3 as well, guys, if you think other games, Ark, as amazing as that game is, and as much as I love that game looks, in comparison to modern games, like trash. In terms
Also
of
runs like trash.
it does run like trash. I love Arc. I've got a load of my subscribers that come from Arc. I can't wait for Arc 2. I can't wait for Unreal Engine 5 Arc. But it does have a lot of issues. Everybody in the community will tell you that as well. This game, though, oh my god, it looks gorgeous. Look at it. This is a dark, dingy sewer. And we're playing as
Especially considering it came out on 360 and PS3. Like, it doesn't look that much worse on those consoles, and it looks great.
No, they maybe used a little bit too much depth of field in the console versions. The depth of field is mental, and you get to see that warbling behind them all the time because of it. But other than that, it is a gorgeous looking game. Which is there is a little thing you can do, and it's on the Steam workshop, and I've done it loads of times, but it keeps resetting itself, where you can actually remove the depth of field, and if you do that, this game looks, I kid you not, it is crispy as hell. It looks beautiful. But obviously, I don't do it for speedruns in case it's some sort of cheating advantage or whatever. So, but it does look really, really nice, and it's really easy to do as well.
Yeah, no, something like that wouldn't be a cheating advantage. Full honesty, I've modified a few things in my call set to make the graphics look different. Just like to make it load slightly faster. I don't think anything like that's an unfair advantage. Like, you're already playing on PC, you can already change stuff. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's fairly obvious when you do change stuff in the game, though, like the way things look and all that sort of stuff. And the other thing as well is if you I don't think there is a lot of room to be able, without the traditional sort of speedrunning cheats stuff, you know, cutting gameplay and all that sort of stuff. I don't think there's a massive amount of room to cheat in the game, because you need to be able to die, because it saves you time in various sections. You need to be able to restart. Auto aim doesn't help you in this game, because basically all projectiles have you have to lead all of your projectiles and everything, and actually shooting before they spawn in and is actually more beneficial than having an auto aim. So it's not a particularly it's not a game where I think cheating is going to help you, because the moderators are going to watch it anyway and be like, okay, well, this person's clearly aimbotting.
Okay, so I have thought about it, and I've like looked into it, just like, you know, like tool assisted runs.
Yeah.
There are ways, I'm not gonna tell how, there are ways where you could run this game and cheat it, and it would be very difficult to tell. I'm not gonna get into it though. It's
no, please don't do that. We don't want to tempt. We don't want to tempt people. But the nice thing is if you know of what they are, then that makes it easier to find them as well. So,
yeah, for sure.
So that's nice, and if there's a small amount of people running the game, that means that you might not have people looking at the runs very much, but you will have a select group of people who know how the game should handle. Like I know exactly how this game should handle, and I knew that before I started speedrunning the game as well, because I played this game. Like I said, I've probably put more hours into this than I have Monster Hunter 4, which, if anybody knew me, would know that that's a long time. It's at least 800 hours. So, in multi-campaign. And I played the campaign a lot as well, because I just love the characters. I love Transformers. I always have done.
And the gameplay is great.
The gameplay is when you get stuff right, and in this game, there is a point where I go, you know, when you like go God mode, and you go like God tier, and everything's going your way, and you're like making all the good plays, that will happen after this level. So as Jazz's level starts, I get a huge boost, because I basically do the skip, the big skip at the beginning, which is probably the hardest skip to do at the moment. I get it in one. Oh yeah, this is great. Watch this. Okay, I was like, I'll just skip past everybody. Everything will be absolutely fine. Okay, so no problem. Let's just get everything started. I'm fast enough. I should be able to avoid the big guys. And then I turn around, and
I thought you would have got it.
Nope. And then two more appear.
Oh jeez.
But
I remember
I solved it.
I remember being scared shitless of these guys when I was
100%.
when I was playing as a kid. I would always get stuck on this level because I would like run in. I don't know if you got this, but when I was a kid, certain video game levels, I would like have my stomach sink as I load into them because they were scary.
Same.
This was like a horror game level for me.
Yeah, this is kind of like that, I guess. Once I figured out though that they're 4-hit with the glass gas cannon, I've also found out something else. I'll tell you about in a minute. In fact, no, I'll tell you about it now. What do you know about the dying mechanics / the checkpoint mechanics when it comes to enemies in this game?
I know some parts, if you reload checkpoint, the enemies don't appear, although I don't know where you'd actually use it.
This is great. If you reload checkpoints at certain areas, for example, this area, the enemies will have about 25% less health.
Huh. How'd you figure that out?
Because it should take 5 hits with the glass gas cannon if you shoot them directly in the face. And I died once here, loaded the level in just to get the practice in, and lo and behold, it took 3 hits with the glass gas cannon, and it would be on every enemy in the area as well. And I've noticed,
I've noticed
it with shotgunners as well at some points in the game where I've died, and the riot cannon always takes 2 shots to kill the shotgunners, right? But after the reload, it would only take 1.
Huh, that's interesting. I guess,
it would not be useful anywhere. I've tried already. In
the configuration files, there's, like, listed modifiers for difficulties, so, like, easy is, like, 1.25, normal's, like, 1.5, hard's, like, 1.75, and that modifies, like, health and damage and stuff. So maybe that only loads in when you load the area anew? I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
But yeah, no,
that's interesting.
It's I need to do more testing on it, but it's happened enough that I am convinced it is a thing, if that makes sense. Maybe.
I believe you. Yeah, this game's janky.
Yeah. So there'll be somewhere a line of code that says, the person is at this particular checkpoint and he has reloaded game or he has died. This time, enemies have, I don't know, 0.25 or whatever, less health or whatever it is. There's some line of code somewhere that will say that, or something to that effect. But yeah, I noticed it mostly on the swindle level, or I started noticing on the swindle level where he's in the air, because I would reload that level constantly, because that level is super well optimized, but I knew there was a few seconds where I could save time, so I just kept practicing the same bit, like, over and over again. And I noticed that I got really just bored one day, and I was like, I didn't need a break from it, let's just kill some enemies. And I noticed it, that's when I first started noticing it, and I tried it in other bits, and it worked there as well, so, yeah.
Well, if it's around 25%, I wonder if you could use it, you know, in Swindle's first level when you fight the 2 titans?
Yeah.
I wonder if it could be used there.
Potentially. The thing is, I don't really have a problem killing those 2 titans, I don't know, it doesn't take me too long. So yeah, I'd love it if you could skip this area, it would save you 15 seconds. Like, if you could skip that little bit there, of him talking, it takes at least 15 seconds, so that would be nice.
Oh boy, there's a train going by. I wonder if that's probably not being picked up on Discord.
Here's the best
thing. That's probably
thing.
going to be picked up on my local.
Don't worry, I have a load of AI software that's going to go through the mic stuff, and it's going to clean it up, no problem. So don't worry.
Alright, cool. You know, I live in the U.S., live right by a train track. You know.
There we go.
Yeah.
This part of the level from when I did my first run is so much faster now. Oh my god! Just ignore everything. Go straight for the bomb.
Yeah, this does seem faster than when I watched your run. Yeah, you like just run straight towards it. Like, it's a similar route, but yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was some way to make this go faster. This is horrible.
So I actually really love this section because this gives me a nice combat break before Jazz, and Jazz is all about optimal movement. So I actually really enjoy this section because it lets you kind of cut loose a little bit.
Basically, you just like cloak and get a drink.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can't cloak and get a drink because if you do that, then the shotgunner starts shooting the mine, and then that's a big problem because he takes the health down very, very quickly.
That's right. Yeah.
But if you cloak, he'll look for you for like 5 seconds, and if you're sitting in the same place, then he'll be like, "Okay, I can't find him. Time to shoot bomb. Bomb dies now." Which I reckon must have been like a coded thing in, so that people wouldn't just sit there with a cloak and not do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that being like someone's first thought. Yeah, they just look for it.
Yeah, there you go. So at the very the reason I use not the mine, but whatever it is there, is that will suck enemies in from miles away. So if there's one hiding behind a pillar, which I've had in the past or whatever, it just gets rid of them immediately. Not a single problem at all. And now for my discovered skip. Yay! Yeah. So this saves, I think we calculated, it says 3.5 minutes total. If you do it first time. which is a mental amount of time to save. So here we go. And I have a
You get
technique.
it first try.
I have a technique for doing it too. So I use the backwards version instead, because it gets you the exact right height. Yeah.
The first try too, nice. And that's so weird. Yeah, you go like backwards and then forward and then backwards.
Yeah. So you go backwards and then you dash forwards and then you pull backwards and you get the exact right momentum value to get the exact right height to get in. So it's perfect every time.
Oh, that's wicked. Yeah.
Don't ask me how long I spent trying to figure that out. Many hours.
Does make me wonder how long you've spent on this game just in the past like few weeks.
I can tell you, because when I downloaded this game, so I've just so everybody knows about my health, I am starting to get better. They know what's wrong with me now. Basically, I'm starting to feel a lot better, which is great. So I was ill. I've been ill since like January with multiple problems, and so I was having a weekend. And I was like, I can't do anything. I can't go outside without being in pain. I can't move around. I can't go to the gym. I can't do anything at all. So let's play a game. And I was like, what game should I play? And I saw the trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beast. And I was like, I haven't played Transformers Fall of Cybertron all the way through in ages. I fancy listening to all the audio logs. I fancy playing the game, all that sort of stuff. So let's download it, play it, and away we go. And I was like, that was good. I played it, enjoyed it, loved the story, everything. It was fantastic. And then it was like, oh, I wonder what the speedruns were, blah, 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 and then I got into the speedrun. But here's the thing, right? Back in the day, all of the hours that I combined together, I combined when I was on 360 because I didn't have a good enough PC back then to play it. So I pre-ordered the game on PC thinking that my 550 Ti, those who remember that graphics card, would be enough to run this game, but unfortunately at launch this game was not well optimized at all.
Oh, it's still quite bad, like in multiplayer.
Yeah, but the nice thing is we now have graphics cards so powerful that they can basically brute force it through, and Unreal Engine is actually quite good at allowing that sort of thing to happen, which is nice. So I basically only had about 10 hours played in the game, so I can tell you exactly how long I've been practicing. Also, this section, pretty good, pretty happy with this section. This is quick, really quick.
Yeah, you aim pretty good for being on a controller.
It's all my Call of Duty training from back in the day. Years and years of training.
A little bit of aim assist, I guess.
Yeah. No aim assist when you're aiming down sight on this. Only when you're scoping in. So the answer is I've played 110 hours in the last month.
Jeez, man, no wonder. I don't feel as bad now.
But to be fair, I've only done 5 full runs of the game. The rest of it's all been practice and level practice and trying to discover skips and probably a good 10 hours of it is just sitting in the first section of Jazz's level.
Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense why you can get it so consistently. Yeah.
Honestly, it's so hard. Even now, like, it is. I will mess it up. I'll mess it up probably, I don't know, 20% of the time. It is still a really hard skip.
Yeah, it's one of those timing things where no matter how much you try, you're gonna get it wrong sometimes. It's just like precision input. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not frame perfect, but it's at least 3 frames. I think there are. For example, Megatron is frame perfect if you don't boost. So if you boost the Megatron, he's one of the easiest ones to do it with. But if you don't boost, or if your boost runs out just before you do it, it has to be frame perfect, or it won't work.
So it's like the more momentum you have, the more forgiving it is. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. This section, you watch how fast this section is. It is honestly this. I'm not saying this is God tier or anything, but watch. Ready?
I see how you approach this. Oh, Energon Recharger again? Okay.
Nope. Done.
Wow. Okay, yeah, because in the run before, you kind of spent a little bit more time on it. You had to go through clearing them.
It's all thanks to that black hole thing.
Yeah.
That black hole thing.
Evolving.
I press it just before I press the Energon Recharger, because as soon as you get up there, a load of enemies spawn and they'll take your health down really quick. So the Energy Recharger is there just for safety. But I might not need the Energon Recharger now thanks to the black hole mine. It makes things that much quicker.
Yeah, it's insane.
And this is my least favorite section of the game.
Fall down.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the part where you fall down. Wait, no, this is the part where you fall down.
Yeah,
There you go.
this is my least favorite section of the game. Although again, this is like I said before, you know, like when you're speedrunning, sometimes like you're in the groove. So from here until my Bruticus glitch, because yes, guys, I lose a minute on Bruticus in this run, thanks to a glitch. I am in let's go mode, and that includes the fact that I hit my drink in the Vortex level and spilled my drink everywhere, and I was trying to play the Vortex level at the same time as cleaning up some squash.
I mean, you did quite well considering that. Okay, I have a fun fact in this level. You know how there's a guy that cuts open the door?
Yep.
So, you probably remember this. Barricade never appeared in this game. Like, in the multiplayer and escalation, never appeared.
Nope.
But that, the guy that opens that door uses Barricade's legs and, I believe, wheels. That's the only time you ever see any part of Barricade in this game.
Other than multiplayer. He's in multiplayer, right?
No, he's not. He's never in anywhere else in this game. He's not in multiplayer.
What?
Yeah,
So how
pretty crazy, eh?
So is he not in War for Cybertron?
No, he is in War for Cybertron.
Oh, but
They
he's
just
not in this
forgot
game.
to port him over. Nope.
Oh.
They also forgot to port over, or I don't think they forgot just because they're smaller. They also didn't port over Slipstream and RC. But that's because they're, like, female or whatever, feminine, they're smaller, so they can't, like, go with other parts.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Barricade, didn't appear. Didn't appear in Rise of Darkspark either. Like, he's in the game files there, actually, you can mod him in, but he's not in the game there either.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that they're not in the game, because, I mean, like, isn't the game just this game, but with some new skins, basically?
They
Darkspark.
imported a lot of War for Cybertron assets, too.
Oh, did they?
Like, War for Cybertron Megatron's in the game files. In the main menu, you know how there's, like, the sculptures of Optimus and Megatron? One of those is War for Cybertron Megatron, for some reason.
Oh, really? I haven't played the game. I am going to buy it on PC eventually. And
Oh, okay, yeah, so that doesn't really make sense from your context. It's...
yeah.
You probably know what's meant.
I know the game is terrible. I know the game is awful, but it's kind of like, it is the sort of unofficial end to the trilogy of these games, so...
Oh, it's a prequel, but yeah.
Well, is it a prequel? No, well, it's a prequel and a sequel, right? Because it's like after they get to Earth and also before or whatever.
Yeah, there's the Cybertron part that takes place like during Fall of Cybertron. I did a little bit of like a look into the story, just like I played it a few times, listened to the audio logs and stuff. I think it takes place like right after Megatron's rebuilt for some reason.
Okay.
But like right before the arc launches, and then the Earth parts technically take place after, but I'm pretty sure those were supposed to take place like during Bayformers or like alternate universe or something. Isn't it? No way that takes place after. There's too many differences.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's kind of like a half thing. I don't know. It's one of those. It's a game that I wouldn't recommend people buying unless you are dedicated to speedrunning Transformers games.
Yeah, or I mean the escalation's pretty fun too. I spent a lot of time on the escalation as a kid. It's got all the characters you can play as, all the weapons. It's really fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's really cool. So yeah, this section here, there's nothing to talk over about, so we can talk about some other stuff. But yeah, this is literally just learning where they spawn, and then I do something quite cool for getting the guys behind here, which is I transform into the car and then ram them. So I save on ammunition. But that's the only interesting.
Oh yeah, you didn't do that last time. That's...
Yeah, but it's because it doesn't really affect how because everything has to drop down anyway. It doesn't really change the amount of time, but it just saves like a little bit of ammunition, which is nice.
It's funny that a little car can completely shred all of them.
Yeah, I know. I need to get into learning like how to run the game a little bit more using the cars as battering rams, because that is technically the quickest way to defeat enemies.
Oh yeah, I get one shots pretty much all of them.
Yeah. So it is well worth noting, and I have got a few places where I do it. But yeah, it needs to be done more. So do you want to talk a little bit about the Vortex level? Because I touched on it a little bit last time about the whole there's a massive section that we sort of skip thing. But is there any more potential in that level to do some more skips? Because I was on a different run and I messed up the Vortex level, and when I messed up, I kind of loaded in the wrong place where you do the skip. and it loaded in all the underground stuff. So there might be a potential of actually skipping all the way to the Titan area where you pull the lever.
I don't know, like, I don't have any ideas of skips directly. You could probably go lower. But my mentality is always with flying levels like that, there's always some potential for more. You have pretty much, like, unlimited versatility when you can fly. So there's always going to be something that someone hasn't discovered yet. I do think there's another skip waiting to be found.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, there's not much to say about it. You skip a big part, and then you have to fight the Titan, and then you fly out, and then the cutscene plays. You know, it's kind of...
Grimlock skip is the holy grail, really, isn't it? Let's face it.
The Grimlock skip?
Yeah, if we could find a Grimlock skip.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, like, revolutionary. Yeah, no, I don't think a Grimlock skip's happening. His movement's way too limiting.
Yeah, it's a very scripted sort of way he moves.
It's unfortunate. I think you could get, like, 10,000 people running this game. They'd find maybe one very minor Grimlock skip. Like, you know, like the infinite monkeys on infinite typewriters can write Shakespeare?
Yes, I know this. I know this, yeah. So if you had, so it's an analogy to describe how big infinity is. So,
you get infinity people running the Grimlock level, we'll probably get, like, one skip.
Yeah, for anybody wanting to know what that is, basically there was a philosopher who said if you had infinite monkeys on an infinite amount of typewriters typing something, eventually one of those monkeys would type out the entire works of Shakespeare at some point, which is true because infinity is obviously infinite, and it's an idea to give you how fast infinity is. So here we go. This is exactly where I spill my drink, right here. So I'm just holding the trigger, thinking I can go on for a little bit longer, and then I hit here. And I'm like, oh,
dude, I wish we would have a face cam here.
And now I'm currently. Luckily, I had a towel. I had a towel in my office in the washing basket. So I pulled that out, put that all over the floor. And I was like stamping. So I did the rest of this game with wet feet. Fun fact. But yeah, this bit is a little bit dull, a little bit boring. We're just flying around. I think if there was a potential skip for this section, that would be nice, so that you could just fly straight to the load zone of the next area. But yet to be found.
I think for this area, it's so far away, and it's basically already so direct to get there. Like, you're barely turning.
Yeah. The only way.
I don't know.
What's weird is I'm still trying to optimize this level. So there are certain paths and stuff that I take, and there are certain ways I fly to make sure that I don't waste any time turning, if that makes sense.
Yeah. This level probably does still have some of the biggest potential for skips. Like, there probably is a lot of stuff you still could find. It's just going to be really hard to. Oh, wait, you can blow them up before they spawn?
Yeah.
I see that.
Yep.
Huh. I never thought of that. So are they, like, invisible or what?
No. That's not the mines. That's the laser things.
Okay. I thought you were killing the drone things.
No,
okay.
you can kill the drone things before they spawn. I've done that before, if I remember. But there's no real need to kill them. I don't think it makes any difference. And I always transform here. No idea why. It's just a little habit I've got into transform before getting to the cutscene.
Speaking of that, I think if you transform, you know that drop down you did, the big like drop down, you fly down and then you get hit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you transform, you fall faster in robot mode. That might be slightly faster there. I know in Rise of the Darkspark, the Jetfire level, which is very vertical, Eagle Force and he found it. If you transform, you fall faster through it. So maybe you could do that here.
So consistency-wise, again, the big mine thing, not the mine thing, the black hole consistency makes this section a hell of a lot easier. Not this section, but a little bit later, really way easier. As I discovered, and this was me testing it in this run. I know that seems stupid, but I'd never used it in this run before. I was like, that might work at this next section, and it does. It works completely. So I get a pretty fast skip there, and then we're out the map.
And you just fly. It seems like the black hole is the solution to pretty much every combat problem here.
It depends, because if there's stuff that's too far away, then you don't know where the enemies are because you don't know what you've killed, if that makes sense. So it can be a little bit RNG. So let's say, for example, there's a big group of enemies. The Optimus level is a good example. And you throw the black hole thing out, and you haven't gone the usual route. Yes, you'll kill stuff faster, but then you have like one enemy left that's hiding somewhere, and you don't know where it is because you haven't done all of the usual checks. So it can be risky. But this section, it's pretty solid, to be honest. I don't think there's a quicker way now to do this section. I will refine it so I can get it perfect dead on, but...
I was thinking maybe if you do it correctly, you might be able to, like, load the area down here instead of the area up there and skip the elevator.
No, you can't skip the elevator. So you have to load in the other section for this section to load in. Every time.
You tried it?
I've tried every which way, yeah, absolutely. Because the Holy Grail would be actually getting to not even this lever, but the lever that spawns in the Titan. So skip all the way to the area that loads in the Titan. Because these guys won't be spawned in either. Here we go. So you use it here, gets rid of most of the shotgunners as well. If not, it damages them to a point where they're one shot, and then I make the mistake of, there you go, see? Forgetting that there was one guy that the black hole gun didn't work on.
Oh, and then also, I guess if you, I noticed in Rise of the Darkspark especially, because there's so many levers in that game. So many levers. If you go up to the lever, like you hug it, and then you press interact, it's faster than just like slowly walking towards it.
Yeah, they kind of like automatically walk really slow towards it, which is really annoying. But yeah, I've got this Titan down pat pretty much now to a point where it's pretty much just as fast as it can be. I don't quite do it here, but I've done it before where I've, like one-cycled him pretty quick with Vortex. There's also a bit here, little optimization so you wouldn't know unless you played the game. So I jump here and then fly upwards because I'm quick enough that falling bit of debris would actually hit me down to the ground and kill me. Like pushes you out of bounds.
Yeah.
And we're coming up to Swindle's level, which is really fun to play. I love Swindle's levels. They're so much fun.
I thought I remembered you saying this one's really boring.
This one's really boring, but the one after, I love the one after. Because it's this... Because it's, apart from the Bruticus bit, there's so much, like, optimization in the way you move.
Yeah, I like it. I noticed you waited a little bit to restart checkpoint. Is there a reason for that, or you just forgot?
No reason for it. I was just, I kind of forgot. I was like breathing really fast because I was like looking at reading times and which I shouldn't have been doing, but I was looking at the times and the fact that I somehow managed to get a 5.2 minus 5.2 on I was like, oh my god, how was that my fastest Vortex run? I don't understand. Because I messed up.
I've noticed very quickly that and of course everyone's different. I noticed very quickly that looking at my times just completely throws me off. So I play full screen on one monitor, not looking at anything. Like, just only the game.
Yeah. For me, I think it's more of a benefit for me than a detriment, because especially if you get any sort of minus, then you get a real big boost in confidence in what you're doing. Which is everything. You don't want to be too confident, but you want to have a little bit of confidence. Otherwise, if you like go through the whole get like for example, when I got all of the super jumps, like after I got all the super jumps, especially the last Optimus one in Metroplex, like I was after that I was like, yeah, cliff jumper and jazz, here we go, let's play this perfectly. And
yeah, I guess that's true, and it boosts morale, and you can I guess it'd be easier to pinpoint what you're doing, right? Like in this game, there's not a whole lot of skips, so sometimes it's just like turning that corner quicker, killing those enemies quicker, and you can like helps you pinpoint what you did faster. So I see that how that could be helpful. Yeah, it's just like preference.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the reason why I run it with chapters is so I can see. I do want to get to the stage where I'm somebody, not me because I'm terrible, but we can make an auto segment thing, so we can put like a halfway point in each chapter as well, because then we can really work out where we're time saving and not time saving.
Oh yeah, or do like it is with War of Cybertron, and have like 6 different splits in each chapter, which is really cool with an auto splitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be sick.
But for now, we just have to deal with chapter skips. It's not optimized enough to need, I think, level ones yet, but we will need that at some point. If we keep going faster anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this game's really, and some levels are so short, it's kinda, it doesn't matter. Like, there's some levels that you beat in, like, what, 4 minutes? It's kinda, it's alright.
Yeah, Swindle and Vortex, you probably wouldn't need them. But we're coming up to the bit where I lose 1 minute and 6 seconds. Yay!
Oh, the glitch, yeah. The shaking and quaking car.
Yeah, I'm actually gutted. It could have been a whole. I could have got a sub 216. A sub 216.
You're too terrifying, man. You scared him.
After the loads are removed. But just so everybody knows, so if you didn't know this game or you haven't watched my other video, so this level is all movement based basically until you get to the second half of the level where you play as the Combaticons, where a load of Transformers combine together to create an awesome character called Bruticus, which is really fun to play as in the base game and horrendous for speedruns.
Yeah, he's even more restricted than Grimlock. It's,
Yeah.
No boost, or dash, whatever you call it.
No boost, no dash, he has a flamethrower, he has no long-range weapons, which is what, in the end, actually basically stopped this run from being, like, super amazing, and it's just pretty good. So, yeah. Interesting to know what you think about my death here.
Oh.
It's done on purpose.
You can restart checkpoint, you know, you can press escape and then...
It's quicker to do that.
Restart.
100%. What, the pressing start and clicking reach checkpoint? Yep.
Maybe... maybe for you... No, I can, like, do it in maybe 2 seconds tops, I don't know. Maybe it's slower on controller. Because I press escape, then I arrow keys down, press enter, it's really quick.
When you restart checkpoint, for whatever reason for me, to load the game takes not way longer, but like the black bars between the loading screens, which you do have to count as time, take like double the time for me. I don't know why. There's a difference between
I guess I
dying
haven't
and
paid
loading
attention to it.
Here we go. Also, you'll notice that I killed that shotgunner in one melee, because I died.
Oh.
You should take 2.
Huh. Yeah, I see that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I'm trying to think, like, what other areas could be used, and maybe, like, the boss fight at the very end of the game, with, like, Megatron and Optimus.
Oh, imagine. Imagine if you had that much less health. That would save a bit of time.
Yeah.
I still... the only bit of the run I have never practiced is the... final level, which seems crazy, I know. But I've never...
Oh, see, that's the one I practice the most.
Here we go. Bruticus time. Yeah, can't wait to... I want to set a world record with G2 Bruticus. Again, you'll have to show me how to bring him into the game.
I actually... This is the one level where I'm pretty confident you won't beat my time.
Yeah?
Like, ever. Yeah. It's the only level.
Why so?
I spent an ungodly amount of time practicing it, and I got... What did I get it down to? Let me actually look it up. So for a while I was stuck on... I need to actually get to the board.
Just so everybody knows, guys, the glitch is about to happen, and there are no checkpoints up to this point. The game's pretty good with checkpoints, but for whatever reason... There you go. So you can see the car. He's glitching away into the corner. He just won't travel forward. He's stuck in reverse. He's got a problem with his alternator, whatever it is. And there he is. Can't reach him, can't kill him, nothing happens.
I'm scared of you.
Can't get to the next point. I have no choice but to restart checkpoint, hoping that there's a decent checkpoint in this game. There is not. I start all the way from the beginning. I lose 1 minute and 6 seconds.
Yeah, that was rough. So, for a while, I was stuck at 4 minutes 18 seconds, and I was practicing it for a long while, until I eventually got it down to 4 minutes 3 seconds. And I practiced it for a long time after that, because I really wanted to get it down on, like, sub 4 minutes. Practiced it a long time. I really don't think it's possible. I got this so optimized. It's rough. Not rough, it's actually really good.
That feels like a challenge. I feel like
do it.
I feel like I'm gonna do it now. There are some bits that I've discovered that in the swindle bit that will save me time over you, because I watched the swindle bit of your run to like try and optimize the swindle bit as much as I could, because to me that was the most important bit, because this bit is kind of semi-random with the cars, but But yeah, there's I reckon I could save 2 seconds on your swindle bit. I don't know about the Bruticus bit because I haven't watched it. So
yeah, I don't know about the swindle bit. There probably is a little bit you could do. I don't know if you actually remember it. Yeah, after I got the first kill in the first like gun area, I took a little bit to kill the second guy, but other than that,
that's
I don't know if there's.
That's not the bit that I'm on about. So if you, as you're running, going past the heat shield stuff, there's a super jump that you can implement that allows you to basically skip the first 2 grappling sections that you can do.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying about that in the first run. Yeah, but that saved 2 seconds though. I don't know.
That plus no, that's that I didn't mention in the run. The first bit where you jump down and you skip 1, that will save a little bit of time. But then that combined with the super jump in after the heat bit will save the remaining time. So yeah, it's about 1 to 2 seconds it will save roughly.
Oh, that chapter 9 icon. I'm watching the video and minimized.
It's Soundwave pressing his button that's for some reason located on his crotch.
Right. Yeah, I had the video minimized. It takes up like a third of my screen. That had me wondering.
No, there's no weird content here. My favorite is the Vortex one, which I think is the only non-Transformer one. It's just a helicopter upside down, spinning. Chapter 6. Oh dear. This I reckon. Do you know what? You're gonna like this level. I think. Did you watch this level yet?
I didn't watch most of this run because it took forever to process. It only got done processing like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
3 hours ago.
So you're gonna really like what I do with the leaper section. I've got it down to where you cannot make it any faster.
Oh, is it where you like go behind where they spawn
Yeah.
and you shoot them with the tank and you like one-shot them?
Yeah. I've got it to a fine art, and it's beautiful. It's like mwah. It's beautiful. I saw
that in your other run. It's great.
Well, the other one was like I hadn't really optimized it yet, but since then I've practiced this level a bit, and it's now super optimized. Again, at this point, I am still trying to like wipe up on the floor my spilt drink, so. There are a couple of button prompts that I miss, like Starscream's bit I miss a little bit, so I lose a couple of seconds here, but...
Well, it's a good thing this is very scripted. There's a lot of like cutscene stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go.
Oh, I love this area so much. You'll never look at it again if you see it in third person. This Megatron, his arms are just floating like you're playing in like VR or something. Kind of hard to describe unless you've seen it, but it's cursed.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like this is the only section that Megatron is the only person you kind of go into first person for, because you do if you play as Megatron as in the final chapter as well. Like when you're punching Optimus, like you go into first person as well. Then that's the only kind of bit in the game where you go first person for anything.
Yeah, I guess if you play as Optimus, I think you also do the punch in first person.
No,
I'm wrong though.
You don't do the first, but no, I don't think so.
Huh.
You kind of do it from the side, if that makes sense, like over his shoulder.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. Yeah.
Megatron lives. There we go. What a great level. I
love the into vehicle mode transformation. It looks great.
Yeah.
Like his animations in general are very cool.
Yeah. Both Megatron and both of the Optimuses, to be fair. Actually, I'm not a massive fan of the original, but certainly G1 Optimus's transformation is brilliant.
Oh yeah.
The sort of swivel down.
You can tell they love G1.
Yeah. You can tell that the people who made this game love Transformers, because there's so many like different bits in here that just work really, really well. Again, you'll see me. I normally would take Clutch, the little drone, for this, but nope. Once again, I take the big black hole gun.
I like that, the big black hole gun.
But yeah, the big black hole mine, whatever it's called. Potential time save here, and it works sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work here, for example. If you know like how you slam and reload the level here? Well, the slow-mo ends early if you shoot and the shot hits the ground first. So as opposed to like slamming down in slow motion, you can shoot and then do the slam, and then it's ever so slightly quicker.
Oh, and then I guess the checkpoint loads once you hit the ground.
Yeah.
It's like the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Here we go. So this is it. This bit I mess up a little bit on here. I don't get the spawns quite right because I don't, because I'm an idiot. I know. I guess. Then comes the shotgunners, and I kind of it's kind of all as it should be from here. So yeah, 2 shots per shotgunners. This is all nice and easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny seeing how trivial this is in a speedrun compared to, like, if you watch someone, like, let's play the game,
Yeah.
they'd be struggling and running around and frantically.
Yeah,
There's like a fine art.
If you don't know what you're doing in this section, it is not fun. And there we go, black hole comes out, which leaves only the guys at the edges.
Also, I just noticed, your save file reset like 4 days ago and you're already at 95,000 credits with all the upgrades.
Yeah, I haven't actually done all the upgrades yet, because I've only done all the upgrades to the guns I use.
Oh, I even still like the global upgrades, like your foot speed and all that, and that, like, if been playing this a lot.
Here we go.
Oh, nice. Satisfying.
So there are 5 leapers here, and we get it bang on every time.
Dude, it's like I'm watching the same clip over and over.
So yeah, there you go. That's the leaper section. I now love that leaper section because it is literally, as long as you don't miss the guy jumping in the air, it's perfect every time. No way of getting that faster, I don't think.
It's a fine art.
And then it all slows down from here, baby. Well,
Starscream with no wings.
Starscream with no wings. Yeah, I saw that you posted that the other day. For some reason, Starscream's wings don't spawn in that animation. No idea why.
It happens a few times, actually. Rise Darkspark Shockwave has no wings in a lot of cutscenes. It's just, I guess they're a different asset. I don't know.
Shockwave has no wings. That must look really weird when he's transformed. It must just like a long shaft, I guess.
Yeah. He kind of looks like his G1 gun, just like if you didn't have the...
Can I just say how I always found it hilarious how this bit, like, they have a Megatron statue, like, ready, even though he had ceased to exist. Just in case.
Like of his new form.
Yeah. They have just a random statue of his new form that gets pulled in.
You know what? What if Soundwave made that in preparation? Like, oh yeah, Megatron's gonna win this. I might as well make this. We're gonna have it all pre-made.
This is the only close-up you get of Shockwave's full body, so I always zoom in on him. I love Shockwave's design in this game. It is, if he had a red eye, it would be perfect. It would be perfect. Mix a bit of Transformers Prime in, have a red eye, the rest of his body exactly like that. And now it's time for my favorite speedrunning level of the game.
Definitely the most, like, open-ended.
Yeah, well, it's not. I don't think so. I think probably one of Optimus's levels is probably most open-ended, and Vortex if you don't do the Vortex skip. But certainly this has got the most tricks in it, and the most mini optimizations, which is really fun. So yeah, it's super good. It tests everything, and I really enjoy that about this level. It's really, really good. And yeah, if you ever play this level and you want to play it as a speedrun wise, always take the healing thing with you, because you're gonna need it.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Oh, the worst thing is I still need to practice this level to get the super jump right, because I don't actually get it right in this section, which sucks, because that would have probably broken my personal world record on this as well. Not my personal world record, the world record, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I get like an even better time. Are you talking about the one where you like jump up to the
super high?
Actually, it's very hard to describe super jumps because in all of them you're jumping up to a platform.
Yeah, basically.
Say, the one where you jump on the platform. Right?
Yeah, Megatron's one where you jump on the platform, and you have to have the highest velocity, the highest momentum to do it.
Yeah, and then you hit like the skybox right above it.
Yeah, you have to hit the skybox, and if you hit the skybox and you transform too quickly, the game, because Megatron's got this ability where he can hover, the game will actually push you down if you hit some of the invisible walls up top if you've transformed into Megatron. So you've got to make sure not to transform at the wrong time, and it's a really hard jump to do. Not quite as hard as Jazz to do, but it requires like more preparation. And with Jazz, you have time. You have really an easy time to redo it, if that makes sense. Like, you can just set it up again straight away. But with Megatron, it's basically like, it's probably more worth it just to go the normal way around. Which is what I do in this one. But you do see me attempt it, so... I have a good section here as well. I get both of these guys at the same time, I think. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, is it these two? Wow. Oh, it must have been when I practiced afterwards. Okay, so after this run was done, I should have mentioned, I thought I got them both at the same time. So after this run, right, I practiced this level a few times, and I broke my personal world record.
Are you gonna do the funny?
This is, I need to work out what the angle is, but there's an angle where if you do that little thing and you get through the doors before it closes, means you save about like 2 seconds while he's opening the door. So for a level run, it's well worth doing it.
See, I think, I don't know if you've actually done it before, but if you haven't, I think the door is just like has the same hitbox whether it's open or closed, and it's just like an animation. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm just being pessimistic.
Yeah, so if you look here, when he starts opening the door, like about now, and you can't get through, because obviously he's in the way, if you skip past it and you're stuck between the closed door and the bronze door, you can just drive straight through immediately while he's opening the door, so it saves a little bit of time.
Cool.
I'll try and get a video of it, but I don't know what the angle is to do it.
Well, I was thinking, like, the gold or bronze door, whatever you call it, I think that when it's still, like, closing, right, like, you're never going to get to it.
No, I've got it, I've done it.
Closing, I think it's... Oh!
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay.
That's what I'm on about. So you can get to it before the door closes.
Okay, that's sick, then.
Yeah. But there's an extra door behind it, a circular door, that's closed that you can't get past. However, if you're in between that, there's a gap, and if you're in between that gap, you'll save the time because of the time it takes for Bruticus to open the door. So you save about 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds to be fair, which is really cool. I'm trying to replicate it because I've only done it about 3 or 4 times, so I do try it in every run I do this. But yeah, there's 100% of time save there. It's just getting the right angle. To be fair,
You're just gonna fling yourself.
I worked out that, you know, the pillars that... Here we go. So this is the big skip right here. And I mess it up. So if you do it...
So have you figured out you don't have to look down?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't look down there and it worked. But the problem is if you try the super jump too far... If you try the super jump there, right? And you don't... And you have to do it past, like, the barrier. So there's the barriers where all the Autobots hide behind. If you don't do it past there, you won't get any sort of, like, lift, even if you hit the buttons correctly, because I actually did the buttons correctly there.
Yeah, it's
so
inconsistent.
It's really
Why'd
weird.
you hover there?
I hovered there because I was in the moment, and I panicked.
Oh, you thought you were gonna fall down.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was just a case of just doing it.
Oh, so I can't tell if they actually intended you to be able to go around them, like, to the left and right. Because I never thought of doing that, but I don't know if that's intentional.
Have you seen my health?
You know, like the... Yeah, like the security grids, you can just, like, go around. It's weird.
Yeah, so here's the weird thing. So if you boost upwards, and you boost upwards, like, at the wrong place there, it will force you down. So you're not supposed to go around there. But you can just obviously just do the dash to do it instead. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's some parts in this game where it's hard to tell what the developers actually intended you to do. Especially in War for Cybertron, but in this game too, a little bit.
I still need to play War for Cybertron all the way through. I haven't finished it yet, but I did start playing it the other day. I will finish it. I might probably start speedrunning it, to be fair. It is pretty fun.
And prepare to sink like 500 hours into learning it. It's pretty optimized though. With the current skips, I doubt you could get like another 20 seconds out of it.
Fair enough. That's
Although I don't think you've actually watched very many, like much of the run at all, have you?
No, I haven't. I will watch some. I will watch some though. Soon. Here we go. I actually needed ammo here. I was like, oh, for God's sake. Oh, did I get clutch as well? Yeah, no, I didn't. No, okay, fine.
Oh, got stuck.
Yeah. I had a bit of a... This is where I was starting to I've been thrown off. Do you know what I've been thrown off by? I've been thrown off by Bruticus at this point.
Yeah, it just takes one thing, though, to throw you off. Yeah, I'm sure. Bruticus, and then coffee, and then... Or not coffee, whatever you spilled, and then...
Yeah, it was, yeah. Luckily, it wasn't coffee, it's all I was in there, but yeah. That didn't annoy me as much as Bruticus. Like, that, I was like, in the zone. I was like, I got wet feet, let's do this. But Bruticus, I was like, there's nothing I could have done there to... Like, I was just... The game just went, lol, not today.
Yeah, it sucks that part's also kind of RNG. I'm sure you can manipulate it pretty easily, like where the cars go, because they obviously, like, the AI moving isn't really RNG. It's how you
move. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can probably manipulate it. It's still really annoying.
There you go, little skip there, which I didn't do in the last run as well. Saves you about 5-6 seconds.
I was confused what you were saying when you were saying that in the last run, but that does make sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain, you just have to do it.
Yeah, more importantly, it gets Laserbeak cutting quicker as well. Because, well, it doesn't get him cutting quicker, like, it gets him cutting sooner, because obviously you're waiting for him to go. And then you have this lovely noise. Love the noise of Trypticon's body coming out. It's like the super slow original transformation noise from the G1 series. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Sound effects in this game are also pretty cool.
Yeah, the sound design in the game is pretty amazing.
I did find it weird, though, how they managed to capture him, because when you kill him in War of Cybertron, he falls down like a massive pit. Did they get like a big excavator to take him out?
Yeah. I think they explain it in the cutscenes of this game, like that they found him, they took him apart and put him in different sections so that they could use his power core or something, and they haven't removed the power core, and they were draining energon for him, which is what all these things are doing.
Right. I was just wondering, like, how they get him out of a massive pit.
Crane? I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Big old crane.
Big crane transformer.
Big crane. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, it could be like
maybe they get
the Constructicons.
I'm imagining like Omega Supreme in his jet mode, just with like a big string attached.
Is Omega Supreme still alive? I'm sure he dies, isn't he? Omega Supreme died in war.
Well, in Chapter 5 War for Cybertron, Megatron like disables him and then takes him prisoner. And then in Chapter 8, the Autobots just, like, kind of save him. Like, they heal him just enough to open the core, but I don't know, maybe he dies?
No, he's not in this game.
There's a little Easter egg of him somewhere.
But there's the thing is about him not being in this game is that kind of Omega Supreme just kind of wants to guard the center of the planet. So it's like...
Yeah, like, there's no reason for him to be here.
Yeah.
Also, seems kind of weird, like, in War for Cybertron, the entire plot point was Megatron got Dark Energon.
Yeah.
But they never revoked his access to Dark Energon, did they?
No, in fact, they infuse him with it when he's reborn. Soundwave says...
right, so, like, why doesn't he have Dark Energon anymore?
But he does. It's infused in him. Because isn't that the whole reason why...
But he doesn't, like...
Isn't that the whole reason why, like, Megatron and, like, all of the other Decepticons are, like, glowing purple? Because Megatron imbues Dark Energon with all of the Decepticons.
Oh, right? No, they're just always purple. Like, in War for Cybertron, right? In War, in the story... he gets it, like, right in the beginning.
Yeah.
But they were purple before that. I think it's just like, ooh, good guy red, bad guy purple.
Which is kind of weird. Like, normally, like, you'd expect the bad guys to be red and the good guys to be blue or whatever, but...
Yeah, well, it goes all the way back in the olden days of G1, because all the Autobots were red.
Yeah. Not even all the Autobots are red, but their symbol is red. Isn't it?
Right, but I'm assuming their symbol was made red because a lot of them are like red, white, like, you know.
So this is my most scary section of the game. So I've worked out, and this sounds crazy, and I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not crazy. I've played this level enough. This guy randomly chooses which console to go on, either the right or left. If he picks the left console, there will be a glitch or a bug in this level at some point. It's happened every single time. If he goes right, nothing goes wrong. I'm not even joking. It sounds mental, but I've had it here where he won't open the door here before. I've had it before, and you'll see I'm waiting, and there's a reason why I'm waiting, because I've had it before where I've ran forward, and Starscream and him won't come forward, and I'll just be stuck there and have to restart. I've had it where, in my previous run, I've had it where Starscream has gone through, like, gone through a loading zone and nothing would load, so I can't progress and I have to restart. And I know it seems mental, but I will restart checkpoint if he goes left. At the beginning.
I believe it. I've gotten soft locked here before where Starscream just like doesn't move. Like right there.
Yeah, that was
Starscream won't do anything. Yeah.
That was one of them. The weirdest one I ever had was where, like I said, you know where he's like, shine your light on this thing, my optics are fuzzy, or whatever.
Yeah.
There, like, it doesn't matter what you shine, doesn't matter what you do, he just won't open the console and the door won't open. Like, that is the weirdest one.
I haven't gotten that one. Have you ever gotten it where you restart checkpoint right here and then you get to play as Starscream like in place of the drone?
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I discovered it like way back like 2015 when I first played the game. Yeah, so during that cutscene, if you restart checkpoint like right when you switch to Starscream, the drone's like robot mode will be replaced with Starscream. It'll have all the same animations and all that, but Starscream will just be like chilling.
So does Starscream end up killing Starscream then?
No, because remember they have a different skeleton in the cutscenes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, disappointing.
This one was a bit sloppy. The rest of them are pretty good, I think.
This part's fun. I like it. I like like playing it casually, just like flying around. It's like a mini open world.
Have you discovered Starscream's crown in this level?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I could never like consistently find it, but yeah, after like 10 minutes of search, I can find it.
It's great that you can put Starscream's crown on, and then Grimlock can stamp on it later on. It's great. Yeah, I love it. There should be a run category, a speedrun category, fastest to get Starscream's crown.
Crown percent.
Crown percent. Yes, that's why you need to do that. Because then it's like an hour 40, which is like way more acceptable to do multiple runs.
And then you don't have to play through Grimlock's level.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes.
Brilliant.
Crown run. Yeah, crown percent. That should be a thing. Oh, that's brilliant. And here we go. I still love the fact that this is called hacking, but I'm pretty sure that those things just like explode.
That's the joke. He's hacking by just like blowing them up.
Yeah.
Because he's stupid.
Oh dear. Here we go. I love this bit as well, because if you're spotted, like just the endless grenades run down on you. And you have to transform to get rid of them. I timed this perfectly. Ready? Look at this. Watch this timing.
Oh.
And then I hit the guy.
And then you ran right into them to completely nullify.
Yeah.
Just bonked right in.
And then comes Grimlock, which has just had the world record beaten for the level, right? Not this one, but I now own this world record level, by the way.
And you want to know something funny? So I was listening to your run the other day, and you guys were talking about how like the world record holder. Oh, there's that.
Yep.
The world record holder for Grimlock is a PS3 player. Well, guess what platform the new world record holder is on?
PS3.
PS3. I don't know if it's a coincidence or there's something that makes it faster on PS3. I think it's just a coincidence, but it's got
to be a coincidence.
I don't know. Like nobody runs this on PS3, but the two people that are running it, Grimlock.
There we go.
Maybe it's something in their brain.
Yeah. And then we get to change into Grimlock. I wish we had another level of Starscream. I'd love another level of Starscream.
Look at this guy's arms. His arms are so tiny.
Oh yeah. He's also I swear I haven't seen his model in too many other places, that guy.
No, I'm pretty sure that's like the only place that combination of parts are.
Because he looks like a truck, right? He looks like he's a truck because he's quite tall.
He uses Onslaught's torso, but other than that, because you can see like the back thruster from Onslaught. But I'm pretty sure they just forgot to put the shoulder caps on, because the shoulder models have 4 different parts. They have the shoulder on the left, and then the cap on the left, and the shoulder on the right, and then the cap on the right. The cap is like the spiky part, like on Starscream's the wing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just forgot to add it, like how they forgot to add Starscream's wings.
Yeah.
So boring.
To be fair, I use this section to run to the loo real quick. Like, just very quickly. Love this. And if Starscream's wearing his crown, it'll fall off and you can, like, stamp on it. It's great.
Did Starscream die from that? I guess we'll never get an answer, because he doesn't move at all.
The guy is, yeah. I don't think he does die, obviously. If there was a plan, he'd be back in the next one, 100%. You're not getting rid of Starscream, let's face it. Starscream's great. Can you just
We
imagine
got rid of
being?
him in season 2 of G1.
Can you imagine being those two drones and just seeing that sword unsheath in front of you, like? So yeah, I now hold the world record for this level somehow, considering how bad this level was. I'm guessing I just had a really, really good Grimlock section somehow. No idea how.
Yeah, nobody really wants to run it.
No.
'Cause you get the boring section in the beginning, and then you also get the Grimlock section, then you get like the RNG Starscream section.
Yeah.
Not RNG, but tedious, you bounce on enemies or whatever.
Yeah.
This was another level I practiced a lot, and then I got frustrated by the enemies in Starscream's area. And then, like, you mess it up, you have to go through the whole area section again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I always make sure to try and, like... that's why I make sure that even if I've got... Especially when I'm not... Especially when I'm doing, like, a long run, to make sure that I'll sometimes do the safer route rather than the faster route. Because, like, for example, like the Optimus jump I mentioned before, like... That is a very good place to lose a good 20 seconds, because you have to wait for the Marauder to come out and all that sort of stuff. So I'd make sure just to not do the super jump, and that I know that it is faster, way faster. But I'd rather live and then not lose the extra 15 seconds as opposed to gain the extra 5.
Yeah, we're at the point where the game's not, like, super optimized, so, like, there's not many people running it. So it's fine to, like, overall get a better time if it means you don't have to restart every 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, restart your 2 hour, 20-minute run.
Right, and it's good to overall get practice for the game. I remember you saying that your mentality is, even if you mess up, keep going with the run, so you get, like, practice for the whole thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely right.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, and so a lot of people don't agree with that. That's the thing, which is really, really weird, because people are like, I should practice... Just practice single level segments if you want to practice, but then you don't get the endurance of actually having to go through the entire game.
I think it depends on the game. There's some games that are so optimized you have to have every level to a T to even get in, like, the top 100.
Yeah. But still, like, I think it's a mentality thing. Like, if you, like, let's say, for example, up until recently, like, Majora's Mask was pretty long. I used to watch Enop run it a lot. And he would restart, and he is good enough to where he probably wouldn't need to practice, to be fair. But even he would, if he messed up even quite big, would still continue most of the way through the game just so that he could practice other bits. Because also, you got to remember, like, it's a mentality thing, like pressure. For example, doing the super jump when your enemies are surrounding you, and if you don't manage to do it correctly, that is enough pressure, whereas if you fail, like, it's going to make it worse. You know what I mean? Or you're more likely to fail that jump because of the pressure that's on you. So if you keep practicing through the whole game, and you do it in a whole run, those bits, that mentality goes away, because you know that you can do it. Like, in the sense, and then you get more consistency, and the more consistency you get, the more likely you are not to make mistakes later on, etc., etc.
Right, you get confidence, and then you believe in yourself, right? The self-fulfilling prophecy, right? You think you're going to do bad, you're going to do bad, you think you're going to do good.
Yeah,
right?
whereas if you, and the other thing I found with level runs is that once you do level runs, you have a tendency to want to restart at every little mistake you make.
Yes. I am very guilty of that. You were saying basically what I was going to say. Yeah.
And if you do that you can't do that in a full game. Like, in a full game run. Because that would be insane.
Well, you're gonna make a mistake, no matter how much you practice the game, right?
Yeah.
And that's what kills most runners, I think. Like, so many good runs would have been made if people didn't restart so much and kill the morale. Because a lot of it, once you get to this stage where it's just, like, little refinements, so much of it's morale and just, like, not getting bored or not giving up.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah, I think so. Certainly, and the thing is that, like I said, because this is now, well, I still think this game, I reckon, once this game is fully optimized, with the skips and runs that we've got now, it could be under 2 minutes. It could be under 2 hours 10. Oh, here's a cool thing that I discovered. Notice how I'm sprinting?
Yeah, with no blade.
No, so if you sprint before you get into the room, you can sprint straight to this. If you go backwards and forward to this terminal, which is the one that activates the next section, you can activate it early. So that saves a little bit of time, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
But yeah, I need to learn. I've been putting it off, but I really do need to run the Starscream and Grimlock levels.
This area has always confused me. I don't really understand what triggers the door to open. Is it just
the
like
hard
a
shell.
certain amount of time?
The hard shell one.
Oh, you have to interact with it. Okay. I couldn't really figure it out.
Yeah, it's interacting with the hard shell one, which is why I run straight to it and then run backwards and forwards at it.
And then you fight hard shell, and then
You fight hard
I
shell.
get it.
Yeah. So this is cool. You don't get to see hard shell's alternate mode really here, which sucks because it's the coolest one. The way it moves is so creepy and great.
It would have been cool if, like, right before you kill him, he just rushes at you in this bug mode.
Yeah, I'd have loved that.
Time.
So
Yeah.
this section I got down to an absolute T, because this is a horrible section. But basically, I even throw bits of wall at him, and while it doesn't do a lot of damage, if you throw an extra bit of wall and an extra enemy at him, it means you can skip one. It means you can skip one of the one of the explodey barrels, which means you don't have to wait for the barrel to come up, which is nice. So
It looks like the enemies do about the same damage as the barrel, actually.
Yeah, they do. It's slightly less, I think. But if you combine it with a wall as well, then it will do about the same.
The classic throw a barrel, throw a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, that move. I love this as well. If you get to him fast enough, he'll say hard shell and stop squirming at the same time. It's so weird. There we go. This is me just waiting for the bloody door to open. I still can't believe that this section got a world record. Like I felt that this was a really bad section for me, or was average. But it's about 20 seconds faster, I think, than the world record. Maybe 10, 20 seconds faster than the world record, which is mental to me.
Well, it's a combination of people not wanting to run it and people, like, there's probably someone that's gotten it in a full game run that just didn't submit it, because you have to manually trim it and then time it, and then,
Yeah.
I mean, I think you did it pretty well compared to, like Eagle Force's level run of it, or whatever.
I haven't, to be honest, I haven't watched it. I need to watch more runs of this level, to be honest.
You'd probably learn a little bit, because there's some stuff that people do differently from you that it's good to get fresh perspective.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. If we could skip past that bridge, that would be great. Skipping past that bridge, finding a skip past there would be so nice.
Oh, wait, what? Wait. You didn't fall down, but then you... Wait, what? I'm so confused. You loaded into the next chapter without, like, a cutscene or anything.
Yeah, because I was so fast at pressing B and enter.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even see, like, a single frame of it.
No,
I was so confused.
I was literally, like, I can tap pretty damn fast, and the enter key on that one, for whatever reason, is better than pressing B on the controller. So I was...
You should be good at Minecraft PvP, you can hit it that fast.
Oh, I was hitting it fast. Because I was also hitting B at the same time. Because both inputs are registered. So if you alternate, you can like...
So it's like double.
Yeah. But to be fair, I think space skips cutscenes as well. So you could probably triple it down.
Yeah, I press space.
So yeah. So you could like flick between enter and space. That would probably make it
Although
just
space
as
is a little bit slower to press, it like rises up slower, I think.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've got cherry browns, so they're the same pace no matter what.
Gotcha. Maybe it's just like it being a bigger, key. I don't know. I know all my switches are the same actuation point as well.
Here we go.
Like the custom keyboard.
So this is my best Grimlock run, but is nowhere near the recently beaten world record, who just smashed it to pieces.
He was going through it at like 15 FPS, absolute giga chad.
Yeah, he was. Oh dear. Although I did save him some time. I saved him like 15 seconds, so it's all good. Because I always, when I first ran this game, and when I first played this chapter through twice or a couple of times when I was first starting to run it, like I always theorized, it's like, oh, there must be a place where I can transform, and I don't, at the very end, or not at the very end, but you know, in the big fight, where you could transform without having to wait for some reason. Grimlock isn't allowed to transform. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. But yeah.
You run past him. It's fun.
Yeah, I know. I'll explain what I mean, guys. Everybody watching this at home, I'll explain what I mean when I get to it. I hate this bug. This bug, I feel like, has random health. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's not. I don't understand how this bug works. Sometimes I can defeat him really quick, do exactly the same thing, and sometimes I can't. Just doesn't.
Might be where like different parts of the back have different vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Maybe like the side has 0.5 damage, the back has like 0.1.
Yeah,
Because like it looks like you're partially hitting the front of him, so maybe the front's taking the blunt.
Yeah.
Because you do more damage to the back.
Yeah. For me, I'm always sitting there thinking, and it's logical, like, its weakest point would actually be between the abdomen and the body, if that makes sense. So maybe I should just try and hit the back instead.
Trying to think logically in a Transformers game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worked well for me for the rest of the game. So here we go. So this is, I learned this from, I can't remember who was it. Was it FFR who ran it? I can't remember who it was.
JJ Toro.
JJ, sorry, yeah. So JJ, I took this from JJ where he just sprints around to destroy these eggs. I was like, that's a genius idea. So this section I would do is like robot mode before. Now I do it nearly entirely as Grimlock. As in,
see, I watched it on 2x speed to calculate the load remove time, and watching Grimlock run at 2x speed, it cracks me up. His run, like even at 1x speed, is so goofy.
Yeah. I kind of, what's weird is because he kind of shares it with the multiplayer one. You can get an idea of what it is in 2X in a way by playing multiplayer. But his model is different in multiplayer, right? Because he has one big booster that comes out the back, not two little ones, doesn't he?
I'm pretty sure there are two little ones, but his animations are way different in multiplayer. Yeah, and he's smaller, of course.
Yeah, he's way smaller.
But yeah, like the transformation animation's different, the running animation, everything's way different, and of course he shoots with a tank cannon instead of a flamethrower. So,
which is cool. I think I prefer that. I think I prefer the tank cannon coming out the mouth rather than the flamethrower. I don't like the flamethrower at all. It's the same with Bruticus. Like I really hate the flamethrower. It slows you down so much.
Yeah.
I need to work out here where the best place is because he does his stupid walking animation. It's just like do. Love that sound. Love the sound of the thing. I've had it there before. I've hit invisible walls and I can't move forward as well, which is why I move sideways first.
I love the look of this area. The open kind of sewage, like rotten. Love it.
Yeah, the waste energon and all that sort of stuff.
And the tower. Tower looks sick.
Yeah, the tower's really cool. I love this. I also noticed that if you play this as a speedrun, you can clearly see that Grimlock hates Swoop. He doesn't pay him one compliment. He's so nice to Slug. He's like, yeah, me too, and all that stuff. And every time he speaks to Swoop, he's like, damn it, Swoop. like he actually hates him. He's like, the way in front is block, Swoop. He's like, oh, he's so mean to Swoop. I feel so bad.
He's probably like envious of the fact you can fly.
I would be. I'd love to be able to fly. Imagine the racial kind of disparity you would actually have in the Transformers universe, because you have tiny little bots that are like 5 inches tall, and then you have someone like Grimlock and Metroplex. Also,
that's actually explored in the novels. Like, there's like Megatron, for example. If you watch Transformers Prime.
Yeah, absolutely love that show. Best Transformers show, 100%.
Why he's so hateful is because he was literally a slave in coal mines for thousands of years.
Yeah, it's energon mines, right? Yeah, same as the IDW comics.
Yeah, so like, if you're born like a bulky one, you're gonna be a miner, or like a slave or whatever. If you're born as a plane, you're gonna be in the military, or like some other guard.
Yeah, I hate to say this, everybody watching at home, the Decepticons are actually kind of the good guys.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. They're like the anti-hero, I guess you could say.
Yeah, 100%. Which is weird to think about, because Megatron is evil. Don't get me wrong, Megatron is a horrible dude, does horrible things. But actually, when you start reading the comics, you're like, you can sympathize with Megatron more than you can the Autobots, 100%. At least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Later on, it gets a bit more dicey. Like Megatron.
Yeah, some of the stuff he does is like torturing humans and stuff.
But Megatron isn't even the worst of them. Like the scientists that are in this are like the worst, 100%. Like some of the experiments like the planes do on other people. Like I was reading some stuff about it. I was like, oh my god. Like transplanting people's like brains into like random objects and stuff.
Oh yeah, and it was like Shockwave for someone who put someone's spark or Elton's heart into a space station and then made Trypticon from it.
Yeah, Yeah, and that person's like being endlessly tortured because they can't like work with their body parts correctly and all sorts of stuff. Like, yeah, it's mental. And you sit there and you think, if this was real life, not if it was real life, like, this is a pretty horrible story.
Yeah, I mean, there's worse stuff that's happened in real life. Don't want to think about it.
No, yeah, that's very true. So I noticed there, I throw that little thing there for everyone watching at home. Why do I throw that? That's so that I can get Grimlock's rage meter back, 'cause it's quite important that we have full rage in the next section. So managing your rage meter is about the most interesting thing that you can do in the Grimlock level. Honestly, the rest of it is kind of just run and kill enemies as fast as you can. Which is why it's such a, not a hated level, but it's... To play this level casually is awesome. So much fun. To play this level in a speedrun sense is horrible and awful. And it is honestly... There's so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling to know that, like, there's a level in the game where no matter how much time you put into it, you're never really gonna break, like, a minute barrier, or, like, a 2-minute barrier,
yeah.
You know? Like, every other level in the game, you can reasonably, given enough time, you can probably cut the time down by, like, 20%.
Yeah, minimum 20 seconds in each level. Like, just by combat, let alone anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the level, which is why I want to say, like, more like a percentage, because there's some levels that are literally, like, 3 minutes. So. But yeah, this one, no matter how well you play, there's, like, an upper limit, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's an upper limit. And if you get it wrong, there's a lot of time loss as well. That's the other problem. So in the last section, when I transformed into a Dinobot, that wasn't by choice. If you don't transform into a Dinobot there, the game just, for whatever reason, soft locks you. And won't let you progress unless you change into a Dinobot, which is so annoying. So yeah. No idea why the devs put that in. I guess because they were like, oh, what if somebody missed out how to change into a Dinobot, or they don't understand or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of sucks. It's kind of annoying. I need to learn the spawn to these things. I'll probably lose like 20 seconds here. So... But I do gain it back.
I feel like this is one of the areas where you might actually be a little bit faster with the mouse, just because you can, like, flick from one bug to another.
Yeah. Well, the only like I said, the only reason why I use controller is because A is muscle memory, and B, the driving sections. And to be fair, for most of the game, especially now that I figured out that the black hole mine is a thing, you're normally aiming at areas before enemies have spawned, or I am anyway. So in that case, the advantage, the twitch reflexes of a mouse and keyboard don't actually make much sense to use. But
yeah, it's very niche. You overall make up for it. It's kind of like keyboard and mouse overall have, like, slightly better potential, but realistically they have controller has way better consistency, which is what matters at this point.
Yeah, especially
I agree. The driving on mouse is weird. It's like a huge dead zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like I said, the only reason why you would want a mouse and keyboard in robot mode is for those twitch reflex moments. So here's a great one. You ready to watch the bug disappear?
I haven't seen that before. What?
So,
wait, what?
So if you Y or if you grab the bug to do the execution animation and then you transform back, it kills the enemy immediately and stops the animation.
Wait, can you even normally execute the
Yep.
bug?
Yeah, that's the fastest way to do it.
But you can't do it in the other level?
Yep, you can.
Where it first appears?
No, when it first appears, you can't transform into Dino mode.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
And so here we go. So I managed to transform into Dino mode on the last bug just before this section. So normally in this section, you'd have to wait, I think it's 20 seconds total, before you're allowed to transform into Dino mode for some reason. But because I transformed beforehand, I saved those 20 seconds. It's pretty cool.
So I guess there are, like, little miniature skips you can do like that.
Yeah. Well, I sent this to JJ, and he was like, "Oh my god, that's why he ran it again."
Oh, nice.
So yeah. Community, got to help everyone out, right? Because I could have, I could have taken it. I could have taken it from him. I could have taken the level record from him by just doing this because it saves 20 seconds. So between 10 and 20, depending on how fast you are. But he'd worked hard on it, so I was like, do you know what? If you want to, and he's been running it already, so I was like, do you know what? Just put a message in there. Yo, I found this time save.
Well, and that's what gets so many of these games so low in time, is different people contributing ideas. Because especially in a lot of bigger games, people don't really care about getting the highest time. They just care about like being the person who discovered that time save. You know, like that's a big accomplishment, rather than just getting a world record.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Community is everything, and if there's a really small community, which there is for running the Transformers games, I think it's important that everybody shares. Everybody shares everything.
Yeah, and there's like a mutual respect. Like, yeah, if someone finds some, well, and that's also great about everything required to be on video, is nobody can like
hoard
keep
information.
a secret. Yeah, like how did you save 30 seconds? I don't know.
Yeah,
you can tell.
I remember watching a load of Carl Jop's videos and Goose videos back in the day about 007 GoldenEye, like how people weren't required. They were only required to show the end screen time. They weren't required for a long time to show video proof. So
and that ruins like the whole point of SpeedRun.
And there was a stage where people would had discovered something new, and it saved like 10 seconds, which in 007 GoldenEye is like a week. Like 10 seconds in a level in GoldenEye is ridiculous. Imagine like 20 minutes save in this game.
Oh yeah, I've seen the runs to that game. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. The level runs are like a minute long each, like nearly. It's mental.
It's crazy to me that actually used to be a thing. Like people wouldn't even have to post images. They'd just be like, "Hey, I got this time." And
that was a thing
like,
at one
thumbs up.
stage. But I think it was Doom that sort of made it that video proof was allowed, because Doom had this thing where it recorded your inputs, and then you could like upload them as a text file and then drop them into your game and then watch them at home.
Yeah, I remember hearing about some idiot who tried to edit those, but it looked like a robot, and he got like.
Well, what they'd done is he'd slowed the game down, so he'd like put slow-mo on it. So he was like performing button presses, half of tenths, like button presses that you couldn't, like your reaction time couldn't do. Like it was very clearly like and the game just looked really weird as well. And it turned out that he just slowed the game down, got the inputs all done, and then sped it up afterwards, or like
the recording doesn't really like save time you spent. It just saves like in-game time. So if the game's slow, you don't have to speed it up. It is sped up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically.
We got stuck there.
Yeah, I have a few bits of stock on Grimlock here. But I have a good leaper section, which I did not have in my other run. So I had a really good leaper section actually here. But the leapers, it sounds crazy, right? There's the other state. The leapers. Oh, you'll like what I do here, though. I basically managed to destroy this this dropship before I get to it by using physics. Yeah. So the way I do it is that if you're traveling towards it and you keep the same trajectory, eventually those blasts, because they've got an arch to them, will hit them. So when I get to it, I literally just have to point at it once, and it's destroyed.
That's smart.
So there you go.
Get, like the lingering projectiles.
Exactly, yeah. So physics, there you go, guys. Physics helps in speedruns. But yeah, I think the biggest time save for these level runs would be discovering a more reliable way and a faster way of killing all the leapers. So I think I've done it for Megatron. I don't think that's getting any faster. But the leapers in Optimus's level, if you can get those, like a technique to get those things bang on every time, there's a potential of like just a minute and a half of leaper saves, which is crazy.
Yeah, if only they weren't so inconsistent. They're such like an annoying enemy to fight even in the normal game. Not as annoying as the War of Cybertron brutes. Those are horrible. But it's still pretty annoying.
In casual playthroughs, the War for Cybertron is the invisible enemies. Casually, it's just really annoying. And there we go.
I actually
double leaper straight away. Boom, done.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind the cloakers too much. It's the brutes, because sometimes they just don't turn around, and they don't like. You know how the leapers in Fall will like charge into the ground and then they're stuck there for 3 seconds?
Yeah.
The brutes in War don't really have that. You just have to get lucky.
Oh, these are the ones with the shield. Yeah, they are annoying. I have.
Yeah, the shield and the hammer.
There we go. So I think this is like a minute. This chapter is a minute faster than my PB, which helped gain back all of the time I lost from Bruticus. But yeah.
Something else I really like about Shockwave in this that I didn't really pay attention to until now. When he talks, his lights like blink.
Yeah, it blinks. It's so cool, isn't it?
It's like in G1. Sick.
I love
But
this.
like his whole body blinks, which is cool. Like his chest and his arm light and all that's cool.
Yeah, I love Shockwave.
Oh, and then his light suddenly goes from grey to purple there when you start the cutscene. Another example of it, like phasing from model to model. Bye bye.
Yeah, Shockwave probably has the most gruesome death in inverted commas in the game. He's not dead. But straps a big cannon to his arm.
It's crazy to think that Prime Shockwave is the same Shockwave, because they're completely different, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Shockwave's voice actor, it's just Steve Blum in this game, but I love Transformers Prime Shockwave.
I think they're both really good. I just think their personalities sound all the same. But maybe maybe having his arm cut off and then thrown off this tower and then getting shot in the eye and being blind and then being by himself for like 100 years. Maybe that changes personality.
Oh, it's more, isn't it? It's like 1,000 years, isn't it?
I don't know. It's however long he was left in this little lab on the Sea of Rust. It could have been millions. I don't know.
Yeah, because when you go through the cliff jumper section and they show Earth, it's clearly Pangea. So it's like, it's the one supercontinent. So you haven't got like Africa and North America and South America and all that stuff. Like it's clearly like Pangea or like an old Earth. So I reckon it's millions, man. I think it's millions of years.
Right, and of course this is like a prequel to G1 basically. And G1 they crash on Earth and then they're
in stasis for a long time.
In stasis for like 3 million years, something like that.
Yeah. There we go. I love this. This is great. Soundwave needed a full level to himself. I'm sorry. He just did.
It's not even a full level, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I wish we got more Soundwave in this game. His design here is so cool.
Yeah, his design is great. I love his design.
You do get him in Escalation though, which is nice.
So yeah, I'd never really played Escalation much when I was on 360. So yeah, as soon as you can walk me through how to get the multiplayer working, I'm going to be jumping straight on Escalation immediately.
That's alright. War for Cybertron Escalation's better anyway.
Yeah.
And they got the DLC on PC now.
You got the DLC on PC for War of Cybertron? Oh, that's
yeah, a few people ported it over. It's pretty sick.
Oh, sweet. You're going to have to show me how to do all of this another day, 100%. We could do it all in one go. Get it all done.
Oh, it's easy.
Nice. Here we go. So, a bit of a risky strategy here, because I should have counted, and I was so tired at this point that I forgot to count the enemies from behind me, which if you get wrong can really mess you up and miss a bunch of time, because you'll be wondering why there are no enemies coming from this section instead. Luckily, I was lucky and I risked it, and it worked out. But yeah, if you're running this game yourself, count the enemies as they're coming out of the other door, otherwise you might have a problem. Also,
yeah. See, I go off voice lines, so as soon as Megatron says his line, then I go over. But
that's the thing, right? When he says that, you could have left another 3 or 4 seconds earlier.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of optimization it could be though. Yeah.
This section, by the way, awful.
You go to the middle first.
Nope.
You go to the right.
I actually messed up here. I think I double back on myself, so I did lose a little bit of time here. But I normally go right, middle, left.
So I go left, middle, right, and it seems to be a little bit better.
The reason why I do it this way is because more snipers spawn on the other end, and they can shoot you off pretty easily, and I don't want to have to kill any snipers whatsoever. So more snipers spawn in this section, and for whatever reason I thought I'd done the middle section here, so I thought this was the last section. I was like, again, tiredness. I was like...
Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, you're fatigued by a run, and you're just not thinking as much.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then I had to come back.
I've done it before where I pull the lever, and then I forget to shoot the ammo.
So yeah, and there we go. And there you can see the sniper, like, pointing at me, so if you go left first, you have more snipers on the field at the same time, so... and it can shoot you off the lever, so that's why I go right first. Just a safety thing. I don't have it's not a bad Jetfire one, I've had worse ones, but the Jetfire section ain't great either. So this is completely random. They can go on any chain. There's no pattern to it. So annoying.
Another area where mouse is
I had
little bit better.
I had a controller glitch as well.
Huh?
So for whatever reason, because of the way I went through the cutscene, look at that, it's right at the end. Ugh.
Aha, and the other ones are like clipping.
Yeah. So you'll notice that I'm going down, and that's because for whatever reason the game thinks that I'm holding B down, but I'm not.
Oh, I've gotten that. I've gotten that Rise of the Darkspark. Yes, so many times. Yes.
Yep. So you can see I'm
Oh,
going
that's
down. So I
horrible.
was fighting that at the same time.
Yes. I've had that so many times.
Luckily, it's solved by the time I become Bruticus, so that's nice.
Yeah, see, because like, if you get that in the normal chapter, you just have to restart. Like, you cannot play through the game like that.
There.
A little bit of issue there.
Yeah, I find that like it's really weird. Like if you don't destroy enough of each thing, and then it doesn't go properly, and it's really difficult to get. I found the quickest way for this bit though, 100%, is if you just go right and RB right on this guy, then like it will automatically destroy the thing behind it, so you don't have to go right up to it and do it. This is quite nice. I want G1 Bruticus, GT Bruticus. I want him. And here we go.
You can't even play as him here. You can't.
You can't play
It's
as him
only
here? I think you
chapter
can, doesn't it? Does it not like if you switch
No,
everything?
the only because each chapter only has one DLC switcher because there's only one button. So it's either G1 Optimus or normal Optimus. There's no Bruticus selection.
Got it.
Truly a shame. They spent all that time on the G1 Bruticus skin, and you can only play as him for like 1 minute.
Oh dear. And this is the only reason why now that we've got the jazz kit, that's the only reason why you'd need to upgrade the shotgun is for the fire thing, so that you can one cycle this guy. So yeah, there's no other reason to upgrade the shotgun unless you like the shotgun for another part of the run for some reason. Don't see why you would, but it's not a great weapon, even in close quarters.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it was good because you had to use it in the first part of Jazz's run, but now...
No.
now you don't have to. So.
No, you don't have to use it at all.
I haven't been able to figure out exactly how this works, though, because, like, you grapple onto him and then you shoot his head, but I don't know if there's, like, a certain threshold of damage, or...
Yeah,
like...
there's a damage threshold. For him to go into this this mode, yeah, where he's like, this is the worst thing, right? You've got to try and get the other... He'll always go for that Autobot, so you've got to find some way of like getting that Autobot killed by Bruticus before... and then he will go straight for you instead. But yeah, no. He's got... to get him into this section, he's got a damage threshold. Once you've done that, and he has infinite health, and you just have to hit him 3 times with the mines and the and Jetfire.
But you know what they should do here? The Combaticons should have just, like,
Split apart.
decombined. And
Yeah.
it's all 5 of them versus Jazz. Sheena do run away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he can't drive away. He can't fly away. And here we go, Optimus. So
He just, like, jumps and falls to Cybertron.
I needed to. I don't know. Like, this is really weird. I haven't worked out
What are you doing?
I haven't worked out the fastest way of doing this. So the way I do it is a consistent way instead, which is by poking him. And poking him works quite well, to be fair.
Looks very goofy.
It looks goofy, but it works.
See, yeah, here's what I was thinking about the punching. Yeah, it's in third person. All the way back in, like, chapter 9 when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And then we're back in G1 Optimus.
And we are back to G1 Optimus, because he looks badass.
Optimus has some, like, magical superpower to change forms.
So you can poke through all of this stuff. And there we go. So it's not slow, but it's not fast. I need to figure out the fastest way of doing this level. Or this bit. I'm sure there's time I can save. Look at that uppercut, though. Also, this is savage pinning someone down.
Pow.
Pow.
Pow. Pow. Pow. And then he sticks the blade, like, right through his torso. How does he survive that?
Yeah, that's in the next bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there we go. Also, great ending to the game, but like it is a bit of a tease. The fact that we never got a proper.
I actually prefer that it ended here. I think it would have been like too
There we go. Time.
weird to have them be on Earth. Yeah, then right in the chest.
Thumbnail shot.
I
Boom!
don't know how he survives that. So right in the chest.
Right in the spark, right through the chest, and there we are. But it's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen, because you have to remove load times and you have to retime it so that you make sure that you start and stop at the right time. And I started pretty much bang on, but I did miss out on a second of the last frame. But luckily for everybody watching at home, I always include all of my loads at the end of each of my runs, and I include the final time and everything. But I thought I'd leave this cutscene here because look at that, it looks great. This game is over 10 years old. Look at it. Oh. And there it is. So here we go, me timing the loads. So yeah, I time it 1 frame before the load starts and then 1 frame before the load ends. So you pretty much get a perfect amount of time every single time, which is nice. And there we go, that loading section there. And then I actually went through and did the little mini loads as well.
Gotta count every millisecond.
Every millisecond's got to count. There it is. And boom. So final frame, RTA, 2:17:50:59. Load times are 30 seconds and 48. And final time, new world record, 2:17:20. And I beat a 10-minute barrier. Woo!
Yeah.
Big deals. Big deals. And you'll know
2:15 soon.
Yeah, 2:15:49 is some of best. So with some more practice, I reckon we'll get it under 2:12. I reckon 2:12 is where until really big new skips are found. 2:12 is
2:12. That's actually pretty far away from what we have right now, from like 2:17 to 2:12.
Yeah, I reckon there's 5 minutes. If you play a perfect game and do it all. Like what I want to do is get all of the times of the leaderboards and add in load times and see what it's going to come out to.
All right, yeah, I don't know. I still feel like 2:12 is a little bit far with what we have right now, but
I reckon right now, if you played the perfect game, 2:12, with the extra super jump skips and stuff that I'm working on at the moment, I reckon 2:12 would be like the absolute best you could get, unless a new skip was found. So.
Yeah, I guess that seems about reasonable. Yeah, because you do make some mistakes, and there's, of course, like, combat that could be done quicker and all that.
Now that I know about the black hole thing, combat's going to get a lot quicker in a lot of sections. So.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, that was fun. I got to go to bed now. It's 3:30 a.m.
Well, guys, don't forget to join the Transformers Speedrunning Discord if you guys want to get started. If you wanted to play some War, because the game is basically not available anymore. You are the speedrunning guys say you are allowed to technically get the game through other means, just so you know. So there's no money required. But not that I'm promoting that or anything, obviously. But there is literally no other way of getting the game. Other than that, make sure to check out Breden's runs on the leaderboards. Any kind of link he wants on Twitter or whatever will be in the description down below. And thank you for watching. If you watched this far. Anything else to say, Brad?
Nope, that's it. Bye-bye.
Bye.